788-7488 or visit wintershair.com.
If you've been injured, it doesn't matter if you were hit by a big truck, a smart car, or anything in between. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, July 27th. Today, Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 99. Coming up on OTB, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports joins the show at 7:30. We talk to Ross Jackson of the Locked On Saints podcast at 8:15. And we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. I guess follow on X now. Or watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what up, everybody? Thursday, July 27th, 2023. Hope you're having a great day. I can't stop thinking about UAPs. Guys, I'm going to try to save it for hour 3. If y'all go into our third hour document, I have put together about 10 different videos and clips from the hearings yesterday. I see you shaking your head dismissively, Taylor. I feel you. I, too, am a skeptic. This stuff's getting pretty weird. I like, and that's to say, I don't know what the answer is, right? Like, is it human, alien, whatever, right? You know me. I said I basically think it's a mathematical possibility that it could be something alien, but there is something odd that it's really hard not to at least be tantalized by. Jake, I doubt you probably have not dove too deep into this, given the new baby and everything.
I have not.
Again, we'll revisit some stuff.
Will you give me, like, during this first break, maybe like a little cliff notes?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I provided in the 9:30 segment.
Okay.
But then also,
yeah, not for our listeners, just for me.
I would say the weird thing to me is that there are a lot of people with resumes and backgrounds that you would consider to be very legitimate,
right,
and highly respected, that are all saying things that make them sound a bit out there. And if it's one person, that's fine. But when you're getting into 5, 6, 7, trusted pilots, leaders, right, intelligence officers, like guys that you would normally show the utmost respect to and be like, yeah, like this guy knows, right? When they're saying this stuff, and it just becomes a bit more. It just becomes a bit more interesting, man. But look, we'll revisit that later. We do have a lot to get to today. Saints camp opening up yesterday. Big news in the college football landscape as the first of the 4 corners falls out of the Pac-12 as Colorado has been approved to join the Big 12 next year. So the 2024 gene of college football continues. We'll break that down.
Brett Yormark is just living his best life right now.
Yeah.
Remember last year at this time, we were talking about the complete opposite. The Big 12 was going to be dead, and the Pac-12 was going to poach the teams.
Yeah.
From the dead Big 12.
It is one of the ultimate tales of revenge. It's almost, I would say it's John Wick-like, but I've only seen the first one. It's any revenge story where at one point the hero is basically dead. He reaches out to help from a former friend, somebody who is in an alliance with, and that person does not help, right? That person looks at his bloody hand reaching out to him and turns his back on him, and then the bloody hand eventually rises, and now he is the one in the position of dominance.
You've only seen the first John Wick?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? I love
Sad.
Keanu Reeves, too. I love action movies. I know. In fact, I don't know that I've ever finished the first John Wick, if we're going full trust tree admittance. I tried to watch it one night when I was early doing radio in New Orleans. It was Mardi Gras, and so I went out with some people, and I walked all the way from De La Chase to back to my place at Mid-City.
Mm-hmm.
Got back about 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to watch the first John Wick with a bag of Cheetos. And I think I fell asleep an hour in. And then I proceeded to put together the single worst radio show of my entire career the next day. Where during the first segment, I completely broke down and I was sweating. And I said, look, guys, I don't know how I'm going to get to the show. You have to call in. I have nothing. I am nothing. I was trying to talk about Carmelo Anthony, and my jaw just went slack and my brain just broke.
What time was your show?
6. I tried. It was I flew way too close to the sun. I was young, I thought I could do it.
Your first
plus it was my
instinct,
wife and all of her friends. I thought they were all very attractive. I wanted to go hang out at Mardi Gras with them.
Your first instinct wasn't to go to bed at 3:30 instead of watch John Wick with the Cheetos?
No, it was no.
At that
fair.
point, you're close enough to work that if you stay up, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
It still gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. Awful feeling when that mic cracked to start that show.
How many times did you say, I don't know what's going on with my voice?
Nothing. No, I was very upfront. I just told the honest story. I was like, look, y'all, I'm horribly hungover. I can't function, and the only way I have nothing planned. The only way we're gonna make it through the show is if, and I think I was solo too that day. So the only way we're gonna make it through the show is if y'all call in, and they did. The few loyal old double coverage, I believe it was, listeners called in. So shout out. How about we do some New Orleans Saints Day 1 camp observations, Jake? Woo! Let's go, dude. Practice. Flying through the air. And guess what? Everyone was out there practicing, save for Anthony Johnson, defensive back. That doesn't matter, though. Ruiz and Penning were out there working, even getting in a couple of team reps, so not full team reps as they recover from injury. Kendra Miller was back out there in team drills after being out throughout the summer, so that was great. But my guy Mike Thomas, how about it? Mike Thomas, full go day 1. You love to see a healthy football team to start the season. And I know that's how it should be, but unfortunately that's not how it always is. And it looks like it will be for the first time in a couple of years. I would say this, Jake. It's tough to draw too many conclusions here, though I do kind of want to tongue-in-cheek in maybe some of the plays that were made. I do have an interesting O-line note. So as I said, Reeves and Penning did do a couple team reps, and the first team O-line appeared to be Penning, Hurst, McCoy, Ruiz, Ramchick, and then when Reeves and Penning left, Hurst kicks out the left tackle, and then Andrus Peat enters. So really, and then on the right guard position, either Throckmorton or Trey Turner backing him up. But I guess the overall point is it looks like maybe going into camp that Hurst could be getting the nod over Andrus Peat at left guard.
I'm here for that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. Now, I guess maybe you have to be careful because of Trevor Penning's injury and his injury history, already young career, but still he's had a couple of injuries. Maybe you got to be a little bit careful if you knock him down to guard, because then your swing tackle is starting at guard, and you just signed another guard in Trey Turner. Mm-hmm. But Andrus Peat is somebody that has struggled, and he is not somebody that's been consistent. And so if you're willing to replace him, even with his contract, I'm okay with that, because you're putting the best player on the field and not playing the best contract.
Yeah, that is exactly what I would highlight as well. Right there is that speaks to a meritocracy. If you're starting Hurst over Peat, because you have so much more less resources now, and then also Jake. I mean, I don't think that there's some huge demonstrable difference. So if Hurst goes to left tackle and Peat to left guard, fine. I don't know that that's whatever. There's a lot of unknown, but that was just a little day 1 wrinkle that I found interesting. Adebo getting the first nod opposite of Marshawn Lattimore, and then Alontae Taylor and Bradley Roby being with the twos. They didn't get into nickel yesterday. Jake, what does it do for you when I tell you that Alvin Kamara looked fast yesterday?
Well, you only said one fast. If you had said fast, we would have had a real conversation because you know what that means. But you only said one fast, so it's fluff.
What about the fact that Peyton Turner stuffed a run and, according to New Orleans Up Football, had a pass rush that forced Jameis Winston to throw a pass in the dirt?
I like that you put blocked the field goal last year.
No, Mario put that. I was wondering why you threw in blocked the field goal last year as well.
Because he
Very
did.
funny.
It was a game-winning play.
Yeah, does it?
Wait, you
Bro,
did it as a serious note?
70-yard field goal.
Wait. You put that in there as a serious note?
He's just starting the hype train for day one.
I thought T-Bob put it in there for me to laugh, which it worked.
It's warranted hate. He has not produced since he got drafted as a first-round pick.
The field goal last year.
Y'all hate on him so much. All the Saints media hates on him so much. He made a game-winning play. I just want to point that out. Won the game.
I hope in 2010, whatever year that would have been, if somebody was talking about me, they would have said blocked the punt last year.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so that's my point. I'm not a separate debate is how much praise he deserves for it, because I guess technically you are not wrong.
Do y'all remember that play?
But it's also a field goal that has, I mean, how long was the field goal?
56 yards, but the only reason they were able to try it is because Lattimore
penalty
had one of the dumbest penalties I've seen in my life.
Yes.
And Koo's a good kicker. Y'all act like you can't get it there at home in a dome.
For sure, Young Ho Koo is a good kicker. At the same time, that's a kick that has maybe even a sub 50% chance of going in. It was a game-winning play, sure. I guess it's still very funny, though, that you included it here. After day one, when we're just talking about him stuffing a run without pads and getting a pass rush that forces the quarterback to throw away the ball. And don't forget, he did block a kick last year.
Hell yeah. I broadcast
Should that be a highlight, though?
I broadcast. That's what it all comes down to.
I don't know if we should give Peyton Turner credit for that one, though.
Why? Which one?
Jameis throws the ball in the dirt all the time.
No. Yeah, look, mister. I get that you're upset because Dak threw a pick in his first drive of camp. I don't know what to tell you, okay? That's your quarterback. You keep that negative energy over, in Oxnard or wherever it is y'all go practice. How are you feeling about Dak throwing the pick first drive, dude?
I mean, it wasn't his fault, but
okay, sure, dude.
He threw 15 of them boys last year, and a lot of them were his fault.
Yeah, mighty convenient it wasn't his fault. I do know the Cannon always advocated for an error stat for quarterbacks, where if you hit the receiver in the hands, it pops up and then gets picked, that it shouldn't count. But alas, not the world that we live in. Brian Bresee had a TFL.
Okay, good. We just don't hear a lot about him.
No,
because he's playing defensive tackle, but he's another first-round pick. I mean, they've used so many resources on the lines, both offense and defense. Yep. I mean, that is something they've tried. Some have hit, some have been misses. More misses on the defensive front than hits.
Yeah,
certainly. So we'll start talking about him more as training camp goes along. Obviously, if he can work his way into a starter, but I don't know. I don't know that he's going to be a 3-down guy out of the gates. You sign some veteran players like we talked about yesterday, and you have the ability to be creative with him, right? He's a rookie. You can bring him along a little slower, and that doesn't mean not playing. That just means pick your spots where you insert him into the lineup.
Yeah. And I mean, I think he's about as, I kind of feel like he's about as, he feels very game ready for a rookie. I guess I can't expect. I think it's a position that lends itself to maybe playing a bit early. You don't have to be terribly smart to play on the defensive line. Just, go attack, essentially. So we'll see with Bresee. I have pretty high hopes for this year. What, do you disagree?
No, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, no. Just be a big, dumb idiot. Just go get the ball. Yeah, just go rush the passer. All I need you to do, it's third down. I don't even care about run. Just have a pass rush in place in your head and go execute it. That's it. All right, look, we get back. That's Jimmy Graham was out there. That seemed kind of cool. Yeah.
Interesting moves. I like them. I like Trey Turner. I like Jimmy Graham. Bringing some veteran players. They might not make the team, but they're not going to make the team worse.
Yeah,
they're going to be competitive. They're going to be veteran guys that some of the young guys can lean on. Trey Turner can push Cesar Ruiz. Jimmy Graham, you had a really good tight end room, but he is still somebody that has a unique skill set. Mm-hmm. And if you feel like you can use him, who better to mentor Juwan Johnson than Jimmy Graham?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Definitely could teach him some kind of tricks of the trade. Maybe there's still value there. The only thing that's holding me back, we talked about on Scone and T last night, is just that's essentially you're kind of keeping 4 tight ends if you would keep Graham. But at the same time, Taysom Hill's not really a tight end, so it's probably
Taysom can be
disingenuous to put him under a tight end roster spot.
Now, you drafted a quarterback in Jake Haener, and so normally I'd say Taysom would slide in 4th tight end, 3rd quarterback, but you drafted Haener in the 4th round. You expect him to be on the roster.
Haener, 5 of 5 yesterday.
Look at you.
How about that? Well, Winston and Carr went 4 or 5.
Only one that was perfect. Haener
starting. Only time
Some are saying it. Some are saying it.
Am I wrong, or is there a new NFL rule where you get an extra roster spot on game day to put your quarterback on there? But is that only like the 40? Is that
just
the dress out spot?
Yeah, the dress out spots, but it's still not like you're having an extra player on the actual roster.
Okay, you still count. It's not 54.
Yeah, he would just be active.
Okay. All right, so those are day 1 of Saints observations. Maybe a couple questions to touch on when we get back. And then I want to dive into the Colorado news to set up Ross Dellinger at 7:30. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. If you want to come hang out today, hit the like button, and we'll see you on the other side.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. I'm always telling y'all to go follow Gordon McCurdy and Andrew Turner's on social media at Get Gordon. And Jake, he has the newest Grubbin' with G just dropped yesterday, and he's eating with Harold Perkins. And there's a pretty fascinating story that Perk gets into where his freshman year of high school, he almost quit football, or he did quit football. Yeah, in order because he thought he was going to be an NBA player. Thankfully for Perk, he eventually found his way back to football. But if you want to know how, you got to go check out the video at Get Gordon, wherever you on any social media. That's going to lead you right there. And then remember, if you need help in the courtroom, 225-888-8888.
You can go to the website, getgordon.com. We tell you every single day because it's factual. You can have a chat right there on the website. Obviously, you can see past client results, cases they can handle for you. T-Bob gave you the number. It's the area code in Louisiana, followed by the 8s. 888-8888.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the...
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows?
Charles Hanniger, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Perlois Jabbar, downtown Baton Rouge. Dwayne Colucci, as well as Matt Humans, and former LSU pitcher Paul Byrd going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Whoa, welcome back, OTB. Oh, I forgot to bring in the chat, so I know what any of y'all are saying, and I don't care, because it's probably dumb. I'm just kidding. You know I love y'all. I do want to see what you're saying. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Hit the like button. Okay,
Edward
juice up
O.
the numbers.
Edward O. in the chat. I still remember the look on Mel Kiper's face when the Saints reached on Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Were we doing a companion show?
I don't think so. I'd remember, I feel like, if...
I know we were whenever they selected
Turner.
Marcus Davenport, because Haney was actually pretty excited about it. We were actually, I think we were at a hotel. Yeah, we were doing a little, we used to have the draft deal. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was forever
Yeah, that
ago.
was fun.
We started doing it at, Don Juan's now, but yeah.
That was fun, too, this year. But, I mean, I don't pay attention to the draft ever. I'm just there for the memes and the jokes and to get a little drunk, smoke some cigars.
I love the draft.
Mario put in 2 questions. Is Chris Olave underrated going into the season?
I would not say underrated. I would say that Michael Thomas coming back has taken some of, even maybe alleviated some of the pressure off Chris Olave and some of the focus, which I actually think is going to be a good thing for Chris Olave himself and the Saints offense. Because if you didn't have a Michael Thomas, what would you have? You would have Rashid Shaheed, who I believe, and I think everybody in this room believes in, and I think some of the NFL personnel that's scouting believes in, but still, like, he is not as proven, certainly, as Michael Thomas, and so a lot of attention would go to Chris Olave. So I actually think that it's been a good offseason for him because he had a monster rookie year. We're expecting him to do the same in the second, but all the focus is not surrounding him right now.
Yeah, I think also it's unless you are a relevant NFL team, last year the Saints were not really, that it's hard for wide receivers to get love. I think about somebody like Terry McLaurin, who is really, I mean, he's really earned his way to attention, but like he still hasn't maybe gotten the attention that he deserves or get talked about as much as he deserves, but it's because he's just been buried on the commies with bad quarterbacks throwing to him. But he's incredible. Like, I'm sure y'all nerds know because y'all love fantasy football so much.
Yeah, McLaurin's a beast.
Yeah.
Just like Olave was a beast last year.
Like,
I mean,
he kind of got forgotten about at Ohio State, too.
A little bit.
I didn't know he went to Ohio State. Exactly. I had no idea where he came from. All of a sudden, he just kept showing up on Red Zone. I'm like, who is this guy? Oh, look at this guy. Terry? I think Terry, back it up. Is there any way Foskey starts opposite of Jordan? Okay.
I don't think you want him to.
No.
I don't, again, kind of going back to the Brian Brzee conversation.
Yeah.
You pick your spots and you say, hey, Foskey, here is what you're going to be for us the first 6 games. And if it changes, if Granderson's playing bad, we'll give you a shot.
Yeah.
If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing on third downs, Granderson's going to get those rushes. Like, when you're a rookie, I think that's the best thing that you can do. Now, you have your 5%ers that are going to come in from day one and be guys.
Yeah.
And then they're going to turn into dudes. But if you're a rookie and you're not going to be that, slowly work me in a little bit. I know for me it was week 7, I think it was, before I made my first start, and that was perfect for me.
There you go.
I got 7 weeks. I was a special teams guy, so I was still out there. I had my package, right? And I was 20 personnel. So if it was 2 backs like pony personnel, I was in on that. So I stayed within the game plan.
Yeah.
And then, you hope, Nor, if you want to call 20 here, please call 20. But
stay ready.
But you're still like you're involved in it. You know what I'm saying? And then we had an injury, and it's like, hey, you're up. So from week 7 until the end of that season, that year, I was able to be a starter. But I wanted to play, trust me. But looking back on it, appreciate the fact that I got 7 weeks to figure out what in the hell was going on and how to be a pro within those 7 weeks before I went out there and became a full-time starter.
Yeah, I agree. A vertical slice of the playbook's just easier to digest.
Yeah.
Okay, Chad. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do a Moscona impression saying I don't care about your opinions. I love
look,
your
he did
opinions.
Skone last night.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes on Thursday morning, it takes him 2 segments to kind of wash it off of him.
We actually had a pretty funny setup last time. My wife had to work in New Orleans, and she's been sacrificing a lot for my work lately. So I was like, okay, I can't. I'll stay home with the kids or whatever. Right. And so I ended up doing it remotely on Zoom, and then I figured out that you can customize your Zoom backgrounds, and so I was just the entire show, instead of paying attention, just using my WoW screenshot folder to change my backgrounds to different locations in Azeroth. It was awesome. It was in like Iron Forge and Booty Bay.
How mad?
And then the Hinterlands.
How mad did Moscona get?
He actually wasn't too distracted by it because he has to look over at the computer to see it. So yeah, it didn't bug him probably as much as you would have thought.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk to Ross Dellinger next. What we're going to talk to him about is that yesterday, I saw Brett McMurphy exit first, but Brett McMurphy Xing that, God, it just sounds awful. That Colorado is officially leaving the Pac-12 to join the Big 12. Now, the presidents and chancellors of the Big 12 voted unanimously to accept Colorado as a new member. It will be next year. Interestingly, this is one of the 4 corners that Brett Yormark has talked about: Colorado, Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah as being who the Big 12 wants to add to get young, hip, and sexy. Here's the problem for the Pac-12, and we'll expound on this with Ross, and then we can talk about it again after. The Pac-12, they've been failing to put together this TV deal, right? It's the main impetus behind why Colorado is leaving. The problem is now, any new deal that they were on the edge of making just lost value and has to be reworked, which then pushes back any potential timeline on getting the new deal done, which then may lead to other schools jumping ship, which then repeats the process. So this does feel like the first domino that could cause the much predicted death spiral for the Pac-12.
It doesn't feel great, T.
No.
It just, whew. So, I mean, it's already bad. Now it's awful, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
You have Colorado who came to your conference, and I know we got to go because Ross is coming up. They came to your conference because they thought it was bigger and better. They thought the lights were brighter, and now they're going back to where they came from because it's so bad.
Shout out Lucy Roden, who's a very funny young woman that covers college football, just memes basically. She's from Iowa, but yeah, she used the Thanos. You did all this, and where did it lead you? Right back to me. Colorado going back to the Big 12. All right, when we get back, let's talk to Ross Dellinger now of Yahoo Sports about what this means and what next items could take place coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, y'all, I want to remind you to go to iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. You can find them anywhere on social media at ITI College, and check it out. We are continuing to celebrate 50 years in the community, okay? What you have to understand about ITI, and I've really seen this firsthand touring the campus, being at the student appreciation days, is that they invest in the students, okay? They're here for you. They'll help you work through any financial aid. They'll help you work through TOPS. They will schedule the classes for you. You meet with career services. They want to meet with each and every student that applies. What are your goals? Where do you want to be? And then how do we get there? You can practice mock interviews. They set up internships through the connections that they have on the job front. The bottom line is that they invest in you, and there's a personal relationship with every single student. They want to maximize the potential of every student. ITIcollege.edu. Go check it out today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs.
Moscona inviting to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. LSU pitcher Javen Coleman joins us, and Matty Hudak has an update from Saints camp. It's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Right now, it is my distinct pleasure, for the first time since the switch, to welcome in Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports, at Ross Dellinger on X. Ross, what's up, man? What's happening, bro? What's going on?
Oh, nothing, T-Bob. Everything's just quiet and calm and rosy.
Yeah. It never is. I'm sure if I was signed on to your X right now, I'm really forcing to try to make this X thing work, and it still feels so unwieldy. Okay. Upset of the century, Ross. I am not seeing a picture of a whiskey glass tweeted last night. Okay, look at that, dude.
Instead of tweeting it, I actually consumed it.
There you go. So, look, you got a great piece up right now. Went about 6 o'clock last night. Colorado on verge of leaving Pac-12 for Big 12. I know that the Big 12 chancellors and presidents voted unanimously to accept Colorado. I believe today Colorado has to formally apply for membership. It feels as if this is going to happen. Ross, I know that Brett Yormark talked about the 4 corners, Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado as being targets. Do you have any info on where those other targets stand now that it appears that Prime and Colorado are jumping ship?
Yeah, that's kind of the next question. This was a scenario that I think many people thought could happen months ago. And back in mid-April, I kind of wrote a story diving into what would happen if there was, diving into the question of why is everybody watching the Pac-12 media rights deal? Who cares? And there was one of 2 ways that this could go. One way was that the Pac-12 got a suitable media rights deal and kept everybody together. And the domino effect was probably not significant. Or the other way was that one team left the Pac-12 and then 2 teams and then 4 teams and then maybe the Pac-12 doesn't exist. And then that has a ripple effect across the country. As it stands now, I think I'll bold now because things have changed so quickly and they seem to change so quickly. But as it is now, I think those teams in the Pac-12 are waiting to actually be presented a TV deal. The specifics of the deal, what it is to compare to the Big 12 deal, which many people thought Colorado was waiting for as well. I think Colorado got impatient, and I think their confidence in a deal coming probably ran out, and that's what happened. So I think for now, everybody is still waiting, but certainly Arizona is a school that I think many people within the league and across the country would say could be the next one as far as their conversations. Their officials in the Big 12 have had conversations, although many of them have not taken place recently as they wait for a deal to come. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch the next 48 hours or so. We should kind of know either is everybody going to wait or is there movement.
Well, and there is kind of potential vicious cycle here thing, right? Where so Colorado, because a deal doesn't materialize, like you said, ends up jumping ship. Does that then make whatever deal is on the edge of materializing have to be reworked more, which leads to more time, which leads to because this one I asked about, there is a timing element in all this. Like Colorado would be joining next season. So the TV deal for the Pac-12 ends after this season. So is this something where schools ideally they're kind of coming to sort of the rubber meets the road sort of timing where it's like, look, you have to decide next season is almost here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, usually your TV deals get renewed roughly, 16 to 12 months before they expire, somewhere in that range. Certainly, they a year or more, they usually get renewed. Some of them you might see go to within 10 months or so of the deal or something like that. We're at 11 months or so before the deal expires. So we're getting to that point where there is probably some panic. And we've seen, there's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds from the Pac-12. And we've seen a lot of their presidents come out and make statements over the last several months, putting deadlines. We should have a deal in 2 weeks. We should have a deal in a month. We should have a deal in May, in April. And never did they have a deal. And so that's certainly not a good look and probably doesn't bode well for what a deal is. I think the fact that Colorado left probably speaks to the inadequacies of a deal. I think if you talk to people, and this has been the case now for many months, you talk to people within the television network role, they're kind of scratching their heads, wondering as well, like all of us, what the deal is and who it's with, because they don't seem to know either, which is a problem, and probably is part of why Colorado pulled the plug.
I mean, something that I feel like we didn't pay enough attention to, at least I know I didn't, because I was trying to pop off these Dawson Creek and One Tree Hill jokes about the CW. Like, that came up, and then they go to the ACC, and they're going to be broadcasting 50 ACC basketball and football games, Ross. And so, like, something that started as a joke about the Pac-12, like, they don't even have that. The ACC takes that deal with the CW. And so, like, yeah, I don't know where you're going to live. I mean, we've talked about Ion after Murder, She Wrote. I mean, there's nowhere really for you to go that's going to move the needle. And now you've got teams that are bailing. And so I don't know how they keep this sinking ship afloat.
Yeah, it's I think what has to happen now is they've got to expand. They have to be at 10. You know, the Pac-12 plays 9 conference games. You can't do that with 9 members. You need 10. And so, or you just reduce your conference schedule model to 8 games, but then at the last minute within a year, you'd have to schedule all these non-conference games. So it's really a mess. They need to add one more school now. And that school probably is, if I had to guess, is like an SMU, maybe San Diego State. But San Diego State passed their deadline on June 30th, where now their exit fee goes from $17 million to $35 million. And they cannot pay that. They don't want to pay that. However, SMU's situation is a little different. So now the Pac-12 needs to add a school. However, to add a school, you've got to have votes of the members, current members, to do it. If those current members are lacking confidence in the long-term stability of the league, in themselves looking to leave, they're probably not going to vote to expand.
Ross, so let's play with the domino theory here, and let's say the Four Corners leave. It feels like Oregon and Washington would then slot into the Big Ten potentially. What would be kind of your hypothesis on the fate of the rest of the conference, your Stanfords and Cals and Washington States and Oregon State?
Yeah. Well, I think, in that kind of doomsday type of scenario I've laid out in April, the Four Corner schools would jump ship to the Big 12, which is Washington, Arizona State, and Utah, and Colorado, and then Washington and Oregon would be left out there. Would probably be in a desperate situation where they would take a partial share from another league. So would the Big Ten crack the door and let them in, with them taking a partial share? I think that leaves, like you said, Stanford, Cal, Oregon State, and Washington State. Look, Cal probably does not support athletics in a way that others do, and Stanford doesn't really think of athletics like other schools do. Do those schools go independent? I don't know. That's probably a pretty good question. Somewhere like Stanford, that would actually make a lot of sense. Oregon State and Washington State would pretty easily slide into the Mountain West, I would imagine. But there's another flip scenario to this, and that's the Pac-12 poaching some Mountain West, schools after the Four Corners were to leave or something, and mix and matching and still staying alive. I think my read on everything is that there probably is going to be at least one more domino, whether that's Arizona or another program. And then I think the Pac-12 does add a couple schools and stays together, but this is probably a short-term fix and probably a short TV deal, and in 3 or 4 years from now, we'll be in this same situation. The league will be in the same situation again.
Delly, this might not even be a term that we use in like 3 years. Well, we talk a lot about the Power Five. If the Pac-12 loses Oregon and Washington, and they add some Mountain West teams, like are they even considered a Power Five at that point?
Well, some would say after USC and UCLA,
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah.
They're no longer considered a Power Five. That was a big question then. You'd imagine now, if they do lose a couple more programs, that they'd be considered in the Power Five. And look, the Power Five probably it's slowly going away. I mean, we use that term quite a bit because those leagues agreed to have autonomous powers, a little more legislative powers than the other leagues, and that's where it kind of comes from. But really, it's even rooted way back in the BCS, where those leagues had negotiated contracts with the big bowl games, the big BCS bowl games. Look, it's the Power Two, and everybody else right now, and that's kind of how it's been now since really last summer. It feels that way. And in fact, you can read a story on Yahoo Sports later today from an interview I had here at Big Ten Media Day with Commissioner Tony Batiti, how about the Power Two and about his relationship with Greg Sankey in the SEC and how they need to work together to steer the future of college athletics.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Ross. You can follow him on Twitter at Ross Dellinger, and you can be on the lookout for that piece. Turn your notifications on. Ross, thank you so much for coming down and giving us some insight into this situation.
Bye, guys. Yeah.
Take it easy, man, and congrats on the move to Yahoo. Ross Dellinger, now of Yahoo Sports, doing the same excellent work that he always has done since he was here at The Advocate. Great work by Ross there. Let's go to break. When we get back, LSU got another big commit yesterday. We'll touch on it next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. See the sign right there? All-Star Toyota, okay? They love the show. If you love the show, you want to support All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. You can find your next Toyota there. Toyota, the Japanese engineering, stands the test of time. Just last weekend, I was with a friend. We went on, a couple-hour road trip, and we took the Highlander that had 200,000 miles on it, still cruising right along.
200?
200, and still working like a charm, dude. So buy that Toyota, and then eventually you won't ever have to pay a car note because the thing's just going to keep going. Okay. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Go see them off of Airline Highway today.
Last week, probably that you're going to take those vacations. You got August coming up. You got school starting, or maybe you got one more tournament, right? One more softball, volleyball, whatever it is. You need something bigger. You need something for your trip. You can rent a Toyota today. Per day rental prices on the website, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's $1 million.
Up on Thursday.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Congratulations to Mark for finding the most trash beat possible to welcome the show back with. It's this one, some of those generic beats do slap. Those license-free one. This one
awful
is especially garage band feely.
But it did block a field goal one time.
True, exactly.
To win the game. Don't you forget it.
Breaking news from yesterday. Does that count as breaking news?
I don't know.
Quarterback from Orlando, Florida, Kai Bates, 6'2", 185. It's a long boy right there. Has committed to the Tigers. He is a top 100 guy. LSU's now second top 100 guy of the class. So right after we were talking about LSU maybe not getting the biggest of names, here you go. You double your number of top 100 guys. We've seen a lot of very successful DBs come from Florida to Baton Rouge and have a great time. And look, it's who you beat out also matters, right? He chooses you over Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida State. Those were his other top schools. So great job by this staff securing the commitment of another big-time name, another 4-star. So now you're looking at, what, 20 total commits? I believe off the top of my head, 14 4-stars, 6 3-stars. So, again,
look at you, T.
Blue chip ratio, you're still perfect. You're still trending right there at about 67, 70% around that. So really good job by the staff here.
Yeah, I think you moved up to 12.
Okay.
So Notre Dame 10, A&M 11, you're 12, Oregon 13, Florida State 14. So, yeah, I mean, you're trending certainly in the right direction. And this is a class that still is going to have a couple of other guys out there. But like we talked about the other day, like the point of emphasis for this class was to dominate Louisiana. Last year, when you take over this job, you were so far behind in some of the guys, the top guys in Louisiana. And also there were some that were never coming to LSU. And we've laid that out a ton of times. And so like they wanted to go into Louisiana or stay in Louisiana and not let some of the top guys go elsewhere. So they've done that, and they've added players, from Florida and other places, because that's obviously a big pipeline, like you mentioned there, T. I mean, you've got some of your best players ever from the state of Florida.
I was thinking about Pat P, certainly.
I think of Dwayne Bowe in my time.
Yeah, there you go.
Ollie Highsmith.
Shout out Dwayne Bowe. We were having a Dwayne Bowe conversation in the lake this weekend. Dwayne Bowe made $90 million in his 9 years. Pretty insane.
He was really good for
rookie deals.
He was really good for the Chiefs too. Before the Chiefs were good.
Yes. He kind of did it quietly, a la Chris Olave and Terry McLaurin, in the conversation that we had here a bit earlier.
It was Brody Croyle was the quarterback, not Patrick Mahomes. Oh, nice. Then they had Tyler Thigpen for a little bit, not Patrick.
And then
even more disgusting.
Then they had Matt Castle.
Yeah, Damon Heward was there for a little bit.
Damon Heward was there as well.
Did they do? Did Dwayne Bowe team up with Trent Edwards, or was Trent Edwards before him?
I think it was the same era.
Trent Edwards was Buffalo, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know if Trent Edwards played for the Chiefs.
Which Edwards am I thinking
Herm
about?
Edwards, the coach. That's who I thought you were talking about too. He was coach of the Chiefs.
No.
You might be thinking of Trent Green.
I'm thinking of Trent Green.
And
you're right.
they may have crossed paths maybe his rookie year.
I apologize. I always thought Trent Green was going to be really, really good.
I think Brody was the quarterback.
Where did Brody Croyle go to college?
Alabama.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. He was okay. He falls into the D'Amico Ryans, Roman Harper, pre-Saban Alabama teams.
Yeah, that you kind of just get lost.
Dwayne Bowe caught a game-winning touchdown against them. Small
Speaking
world.
of which,
05.
SEC Shorts had SEC Shorts had a really good 7-minute video this last week where they did an episode as if they were living in 2007, like after the 07 season. And one of the best parts were all the Alabama fans being like, "Nick Saban 7-6, you losing to ULM. This guy sucks."
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rich Rod, baby.
Yeah. Well, they're like, Rich Rod at West Virginia, a game away from the natty.
It's true.
I can't believe it. Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care.
It all worked out for you.
Yeah, right? PatientPlusUC.com, where you will see the difference. Quality care for life's unexpected moments. Also great commercials and a great mascot with that little puppet. I love that little puppet. But look, it's not about games, okay? This is about your health. It's about getting in, getting better. There's colds going around, stomach bugs going around. You and your family need the treatment you deserve. Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care. You're going to see the difference. PatientPlusUC.com.
T-Bob's right. You will see the difference as soon as you walk into any of the facilities, right? It's not like they have just one main facility and the rest of them aren't up to par. I mean, they all are going to blow you away. So any that you walk into, remember there's one that's convenient for you in the Baton Rouge area. No matter where you're at, find the location that is nearest you. You can do that at PatientPlusUC.com. Get in and get better.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, July 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 99. Coming up on OTB, Ross Jackson of the Locked On Saints podcast joins the show at 8:15, and we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on X, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB. I know it sounds weird. OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hour 2, kicking off Ross Jackson. Coming up next, talk some Saints. So we did get some further understanding of the Aaron Rodgers contract. Aaron Rodgers kind of trolling the Packers a bit here, boys. In case you missed it, Aaron Rodgers, when it's all said and done, he signs a 2-year, $75 million deal with the Jets, which sounds great. Except in the deal he currently had, he was due to make $110 million in guarantees. Meaning, Aaron Rodgers just took a $35 million pay cut to play for the Jets, give him a little team building latitude, and to be there more than just 1 year. So they have done it Saints style, like we kind of posited yesterday. He's going to get a $35 million signing bonus in 4 days. His salary for this year will only be $1.8. Next year, it'll be $38.2 against the cap. And then I think he has like 2 voidable years at the end that $35 million bonus is going to be spread throughout as well. So taking a page out of the Kai Harley playbook. But, like, am I crazy? Didn't Aaron Rodgers just push the Packers for every penny they were worth? Like, for a while, and, you know, they have to lose Devontae Adams and all this sort of stuff, and then he shows up in New York and takes a $35 million haircut? I mean, that's 33%.
He got a haircut when he got there, too.
Yeah, true.
You know? Yeah, I feel like it is. And, hey, and also New York's more expensive than Green Bay.
It's just wild because, like, Rodgers and Green Bay, and eventually I'm sure they will, but, like, that fan base and him should have a great relationship. They had a lot of good times together. But this is the type of petty move that really sets that back quite a bit to maybe where it's like, you know, you got to wait a few years before fans will have have it within their heart to be like, no, I like that guy again. Like, this is a very burn bridges sort of feel. And even his comments, he was like, look, man, you know, that chapter's closed. You know, I'm sure they're very excited with their new guy. I know I'm excited to be in a new situation. Very much kind of a spurned ex-lover move here.
Speaking of the Jets and contracts, nothing's official yet, but Dalvin Cook is meeting with the Jets this weekend. He flew in today.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe now you see where a little bit of that $35 million pay cut could potentially get invested in.
Yeah, I mean,
Tom Pelissero had that like 30 minutes ago.
They've already got Breece Hall. I mean, that would be hell of a
I'm
backfield.
pretty sure.
And Michael Carter, too.
I'm pretty sure both of those guys came out and tweeted something along the lines like, we're good over here, like months ago when they were flirting that idea of signing Dalvin Cook.
Well, New York didn't agree.
Yeah.
Apparently
I
not.
mean, who cares, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Front
Brees
office
Hall, cool.
does not care what you
Well,
think.
both
Hall,
of those
you're
guys are
fine.
coming off of injuries last year.
Yeah.
Brees Hall, a pretty significant one.
Carter, who's Carter?
Michael
Good.
Carter, he came out with Javonte Williams. They both went to North Carolina.
I remember they had both of them at the same time in North
Don't
Carolina.
remember it all now. No idea. I've never heard the name. Michael
He's a pretty good player.
They were good at Carolina,
John
man.
Carter
That's
of
why they were
Mars.
way overrated going into the next year because of the season they had with those two guys.
I haven't thought about Carolina running back ever in my life.
Well, Javonte Williams at Denver was the other back.
No idea who we're talking
Okay.
Javonte Williams.
I've never heard the name Javonte Williams before this moment.
He's the starter.
I don't play fantasy.
He's a
He's
really
the
good
starting
player,
running
man.
back in Denver. I mean,
I can't name all the starting running backs in the NFL.
Okay.
Can you? 'cause
Probably.
You're a fantasy
I'm
guy.
trying to think of another North Carolina running back like in history that.
That's what I'm saying. I've
you
never
would-
once thought of a North Carolina running back in my life.
I think I know one. Let me confirm here.
The only North Carolina football players I have ever thought in my life,
The ones you played against.
Julius Peppers. No, not even them. I don't remember any of their names. Julius Peppers, Lawrence. No, Lawrence. Right? No, who's not Lawrence? Is Lawrence Taylor? No. Did Lawrence Taylor go to North Carolina? No. Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
He did. Yeah, he did. Right. Okay. Lawrence Taylor, Julius Peppers. Did Jason Capel also play football along with basketball?
You're thinking of Curry, Ronald Curry.
Ronald Curry. Okay, there's another one.
Yes, I confirmed the one that I thought played there. Okay. Running back, thick boy.
Natron Means.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I just guessed off a thick boy.
Yeah.
I mean, the thickest of all backs.
I was going to go mean visor game.
Okay.
Because he did.
So there's my. I wouldn't even know Natron Means.
how could you forget Money Mitch Trubisky?
Mitchell. That's right. That's right. Also Brandon Harris.
Yeah.
Also.
Technically.
Yeah, technically.
Obviously Drake May.
Les Miles' son was the quarterback there for a time, right? Manny.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Manny
that
Miles.
sounds right,
Manny
too.
Miles was.
So, but the point is I don't know who we're talking about. So I do know who Dalvin Cook is.
There you go.
So get out of here. Kajana Carter.
Penn State.
They gonna
John
play this.
Carter of Mars.
They gonna play
John
this in the locker room.
Carter. Movie that, got a lot of hate.
Did you like it?
Wasn't
I
bad.
never saw it.
I think it was bad.
Okay.
But I'm not a Star Wars fan, so.
Well, it's not actually Star Wars.
I know, but it's what gave the idea
okay,
to.
yeah. Oh, is it really now? The original pulp comic Fran Frazetta. Is it Frazetta? It's a very famous old pulp artist. I love him. He does great work. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. So that's the Jets offense. So with Garrett Wilson, Dalvin Cook, those two guys that you claim are good. Aaron Rodgers,
okay,
they have a great defense.
you know who Brees Hall is.
Yeah, Iowa State.
So you
Yes.
know he's good.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Okay, the other one plays for Denver, but Michael Carter plays for the Jets. But
Okay.
you know Brees Hall's good.
Yes, I do know. Okay, so yeah,
There you go.
Brees Hall, Dalvin
Who's the-
Cook,
who's the
Carter,
second
Rodgers, Wilson.
receiver
Well, it was
there?
Corey Davis last year, but they got
Yeah.
Alan Lazard now.
And
They got Randall
Braxton's
Cobb.
in
He
for
brought
the-
both of them
for
in.
the Dolphins now.
Yeah. And then
Sorry,
Elijah
that's it.
Moore's at Chicago now. So,
Is
Elijah
Giovanni
Moore.
Bernard UNC?
yeah, Giovanni
Yes.
Bernard was
That's
UNC.
what you hold the
Yep.
mayo says in the
Yes.
chat.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he played in that game against y'all, actually.
Okay, there you go, dude.
So you actually have a great little
Yeah, he named about
Rolodex
6 or
of
7
North
guys.
Carolina football players. Steve.
Zachary Trosky says, as a resident Packers fan, Rodgers burned that bridge. Thanks for the Super Bowl, but glad the drama is over. Yeah, this does feel like the twisting of the knife. Like there was already enough drama for Packers fans to be upset about. Now Rodgers like, you know what? I don't actually care about money that much. I did, but then I went to the woods because I wish to live deliberately, and now I don't. Thoreau style. Shout out Aaron Rodgers. I thought it was very funny. I saw a quote from Robert Saleh saying that Aaron Rodgers glowed in the dark, which to me kind of takes away from his whole darkness retreat. Because you could
Must be
obviously
the
see in
ayahuasca.
room. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, how are you supposed to be scared of the dark if you glow? Impossible. Cam Jordan yesterday says, I want to win the Super Bowl. I want to take Derek Carr back to Vegas. And Mar, you said during the break, I think you're probably correct. I don't know that there's a player for me personally that I want to see win a Super Bowl more than Cam Jordan. He's been so tantalizingly close. He's been Mr. Available, the ultimate professional. He is someone who has never pushed for max value. He has always accepted deals quickly, drama-free, that are technically less than. Like, he is someone who just does the work, has an incredibly affable personality, is kind to media, incredible with fans, and also has the best team pictures of all time, which he just added to. Look at this, Jake. Did you see this? If you're listening on the radio, it's Cam Jordan's picture. My man straight up busted out the Lil Bow Wow, like Mike 2003 cornrows and headbands. Another classic facial hairstyle as well. Got the eyebrow cock. Cam Jordan, please God, if there is justice in this world, even if he has to move on from the Saints, please let Cam Jordan at one point lift the Lombardi trophy.
I'm with you. I mean, he would certainly be in my top 3 of guys that I want to see win a Super Bowl and win a championship.
And you're not like a Saints fan or anything.
I mean, no, I mean, I'm not even, certainly, like, I'm going to root for the teams I play for over the Saints, but, yeah, that's somebody that everyone can get behind.
Yeah, man. Saint through and through. Unfortunate that he joined the team, like, right after they won the Super Bowl.
Was it the year after?
I think it was 11. Yeah,
2 years.
I think it was 11. So his rookie year was when they lost to San Francisco, and that lets you know that he's been through all of the heartbreak that this franchise has been through the last 10 years.
Kyle Rudolph catching in the Superdome
without the ring to fall back on, like guys like guys like Breeze and Morstead went through all that stuff, but they at least had the Super Bowl ring. Cam Jordan does not, and he definitely deserves one.
I would. He'd be up there. Pat Pete would be up there for me as well.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have one.
He'd be incredibly high because he just missed them in college. Came the next year, right? 08?
Yeah.
09, I think, was his freshman year.
No. Pat Pete was 07. He was in our class.
Right, but he wasn't in your class because I didn't play with him. He was the next year.
Yeah, he was a true freshman in 08, the year after.
So right after the championship.
And then he left in 2010, and then LSU goes on the run in 2011, gets there but doesn't win.
Yeah, I guess you're right. 8, 9,
so
10.
he literally
left after 3 years. I always thought he was 07 with us.
Yeah, so he got there the year after and then left the year before you go play for another one.
Yeah. Dangerously close in college, like you said, Jake. Did he make a Super Bowl in Arizona? I believe he wasn't on that Arizona team that made it with Kurt Warner.
No, because that was in 08.
Yeah, that was the 08 season.
Yeah, so he was at LSU when that happened.
Big seasons, but I just feel like he's somebody that I would love to see win a championship.
Get him a ring. Get Cam Jordan a ring. I know you said Joe Burrow, and I'm with you there, but I feel like Joe Burrow's going to get a ring.
Burrow's more for his legacy.
Yeah, like you want him to get one ring so he can start to work on ring number 2.
Yeah.
I feel very confident that Burrow will eventually get there. But I guess I'm sure that's what people said about Dan Marino back in the day as well.
I said it a lot about Dan Marino. I wore 13 growing up because of Dan Marino. I wanted that man to win a championship. He got there in his second year and never got back.
How about this, guys? Marshawn Lattimore challenged Dennis Allen to run gassers yesterday at the end of practice, and D.A. joined in. Said he beat some of the players. Cool guy. Dennis Allen did.
Players that he beat.
DA should beat the lineman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should he?
Yes.
I know he's an ex-DB, but come on, man.
If he's an ex-DB, I didn't even know that. Then absolutely. Also, dude, if you are a football coach, first off, I'm a believer that I like my coaches to be in shape because I think it's hard to respect, just a really sloppy person that's demanding physical perfection out of you but can't keep their own house in order. But yeah, you should be able to beat 300-plus pound linemen.
Well, how old is Dennis Allen?
I guess it's true, too. He's probably pretty old. I mean, late 40s, not that old. Not that old.
Yeah, I mean, if he's under, 50, he should be able to beat somebody.
50 years old.
Yeah, 50.
So there you go. Yeah, he should be able to beat some of the big boys, especially the O-line. Maybe less.
You know who I bet he did beat?
Who?
Peyton Turner.
I don't think he should beat Peyton Turner.
I bet he did, though. I didn't say he should. I said I bet he did.
Dennis Allen's never blocked the field goal.
True. Never blocked the game-winning field goal.
He might have.
That's true.
At some level.
Did he play in the NFL?
I have no idea.
I don't either. When we get back, let's talk to Ross Jackson here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,500 off MSRP on all new 23 Ram 1500 Laramie trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
And remember, the bitter taste of a poor installation will remain much longer than the sweet taste of that lowest price. Call us today, 929-8944. That's Rebel Heating and Air, 929-8944. Or go to rebelheatingandair.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-12674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Charles Hanniger, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Perlois Jabbar, downtown Baton Rouge. Dwayne Colucci, as well as Matt Humans, and former LSU pitcher Paul Byrd going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. rolling right along here on this Thursday. Right now, let's talk to the man who talks Saints every day and does an excellent job at it. Ross Jackson, host of the Locked On Saints podcast, also one of the wider editors of all of Locked On at Ross Jackson NOLA on X. Ross, what's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I don't think I'll ever get used to the exchange.
No,
but
everybody everybody chuckles every time. It's impossible not to. I'll probably get sick of it eventually, but for now it's still funny. Ross, give us were you at practice yesterday?
Yes, I was.
Give us your day one biggest takeaways.
Saints are Super Bowl champions. No,
yeah,
I'm
let's
kidding.
go,
No, but
dude.
I do think. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think that this New Orleans Saints team looks awful familiar, and I don't think that is by coincidence. And when I mean awful familiar, I don't necessarily mean 2022. I don't necessarily mean 2021, but I mean that this is a New Orleans Saints offense that's working to get back to its glory days and trying to get there. We watched Derek Carr, get in and out of the huddle quickly, cleanly, command the offense. We saw him distribute passes all over the place, tight ends to wide receivers to running backs. We saw them with a big catch and run by Michael Thomas, a big screen pass to Alvin Kamara. So just things in this offense that are kind of coming back. They spent an entire period working on play action, for instance, and things like that. So you can see some of the sort of core tenets of this New Orleans Saints offense of old coming back into this New Orleans Saints offense of new. That was my biggest takeaway from day one.
Hey, Ross, I want to ask you about the moves they made over the last couple of days because speaking of looking familiar, I mean, they've got a familiar face in Jimmy Graham out there. They signed Trey Turner, who's been to multiple Pro Bowls, probably on the other side of his career, but still, was a starter in Washington last year. Like, you often don't see signings like that this late into it, right before you start training camp. What did you think, and maybe what was the thought process in bringing those two veteran players in?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it is that they are veteran players. And we're watching this more and more. It's where players that are coming in that have, several years of NFL experience are waiting until after mini camps, after OTAs to sign their contracts. This is a little bit of a change in the usual course. We're used to kind of all the signings happening in March, April, May, and then now we're starting to get some more of these June, July signings that end up actually kind of meaning something. And we've seen that from the Saints for the past couple of years, as well as, of course, the reunions with former LSU Tigers, former New Orleans Saints, things like that. So you got a little bit of a blend of all of that with the signing of Jimmy Graham and the signing of Trey Turner. So what the Saints do is that they're able to bring in a guy like Jimmy Graham who's familiar with their system, that knows what it is that they want to do. According to Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis, they made it kind of sound like Jimmy Graham was saying it's either the New Orleans Saints or nobody, kind of Drew Brees-ish in that way. But the Saints were able to bring him back, and now they add another veteran to that room, which is otherwise, with the exception of Foster Moreau, who by all intents and purposes is still young, is a young room. And then you look at the offensive line, similar situation in terms of depth. You've got James Hurst, but then outside of James Hurst, you have a lot of young guys for depth. The Lewis Kids and Landon Young and Calvin Throckmorton, so on and so forth. So now you get another veteran guy that comes in. They also brought in Max Garcia as well, who they really like as a center. That's a spot where they needed to fill. So they're really looking at opportunities to be able to add NFL experience, NFL reps, veteran experience into some of their core depth spots. I think there are a couple of those left, like defensive line and linebacker, that I wouldn't be surprised to see them continue to add to over the course of camp.
Yeah, backup linebacker is certainly a concern. Something that Jake was talking about the other day. I want to go a little in the weeds here, and this is a question that I don't know that even is going to excite too many Saints fans, but you mentioned James Hurst, and it's kind of interesting. You look up and you realize, wait, James Hurst has played in 33 games the last years and started 31 of them, and then yesterday you get out there and while Cesar Ruiz and Trevor Penning were limited, when they were they were the first up to go, right, during team drills, and it wasn't Pete at left guard, it was Hurst. And then when Penning came off the field, Hurst kicked out, Pete comes in. Am I reading too much into this, or is this telling me that James Hurst is actually going into camp being viewed as a starting left guard?
I think that James Hurst is going into camp being viewed as a starting offensive lineman for certain, as in somebody that obviously has that experience, right? But I do think that maybe yesterday's, James Hurst getting that first snap was more indicative of the ramp up and the rhythm of how they wanted to go through. Because Trevor Penning took a couple of snaps, then he went off, and then when he went off, James Hurst bounced to the outside, and Pete came in, And then now Calvin Throckmorton went in for Cesar Ruiz. Cesar Ruiz went off for a little while. Then we saw Andrews Pete move, and then James Hurst moved to another position. And so we just kind of watched them shuffle around a bunch. I wouldn't read too much into it yet, but certainly as this week goes along and you start to see more Trevor Penning reps, more Andrews Pete reps, more Cesar Ruiz reps, if you start to see James Hurst jumping Andrews Pete, then that's something to watch. I do think that Andrews Pete is not I think that he's not a guy that you can pencil in or rather you can only pencil in as a starter at left guard. I think there's enough competition here, and there's enough kind of with the readjustment of his contract and the way that the Saints and he went about that this offseason that you don't have to be married to Andrews Pete at left guard as your starter any longer if you don't want to, and he would be really quality depth. So if you feel like James Hurst is the right spot and if he outperforms, I think the New Orleans Saints can listen to what they're seeing there.
Ross, where are you at linebacker right now? Because I feel like it's a position we've started to talk about over the last couple of days because you obviously have starters, DeMario Davis, Pete Werner, that you feel really, really good about, but Pete Werner has yet to play a full season, certainly missed games the last 2 years. And DeMario Davis obviously is getting a little bit older. So what's the depth look like at that position? Because you've got a lot of unproven guys behind those two really good starters.
Yeah, it's a really, really young position behind those two, that's for sure. And I think that the way that I tend to look at the immediate depth in addition to DeMario Davis and Pete Werner is that I start with kind of this 3A, 3B conversation because there's the third linebacker that's on the field with those guys, but then there's also that other linebacker that has to come in place of those guys if something were to happen, if they, let's just say they needed to tie a shoe or they needed to get their helmet, put back on. And so who's the guy that steps into the coverage role versus who's the guy that's the strong side on-ball linebacker over on the opposite side or in addition to those two guys in a three-linebacker set or a base set? And I think the answer to those two questions are two different names. I think that Zach Vaughn right now is the guy as the strong side linebacker, maybe a little bit more of a – I think that what the Saints learned with Caden Ellis and the supplementary pass rush from the second level and how they can get that done with a third linebacker on the field or sometimes with just one of your two linebackers, I think their understanding of how Caden Ellis was able to do that is going to help Zach Vaughn. And Pete Werner highlighted that Zach Vaughn has come into this camp with the most confidence that he's ever had. So maybe that's because he's seeing a more similar role to what made him draftable in college as an on-ball guy that was a pass rusher, that was a run stopper, all of these other things. So that could be tied together. So I look at him as a strong side guy. The 3B who comes in place of the coverage linebacker, the backup role for me right now is DeMarco Jackson, the App State linebacker that they drafted last year. We didn't get to see him last year because he had the preseason injury that ended the season before it could begin. But he's doing a lot of green dot work with him, making, what green dot is just the small green dot on the helmet that designates this is the helmet with a communications headset in it so that he can call the shots, communicate with folks, things like that. And so he's kind of been working in that Mike linebacker role with that. But outside of those guys, you're waiting to see who's going to step up. Andrew Dowell, the special teams ace, had a great play yesterday where he punched the ball out of Juwan Johnson's hands, recovered it, and probably would have had a pretty good return off of it. So big plays like that are going to be the ones to watch out for. But, of course, consistency is king when it comes to training camp.
Ross buried the lead here. Had her boy Mikey T look.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any coincidence that the very first pass of team drills was Derek Carr trying to get a pass into Michael Thomas. Now, Paulson Adebo made a great play on that ball and knocked it away, but it didn't take long for Derek Carr and Michael Thomas to connect again on a later slant route. And then they also connected on a route, I believe it was crossing from one side of the field to the other, but they connected over on the left side of the field. And then everything that Derek Carr kind of illustrated about what makes Michael Thomas special over the course of the offseason, one of the things that he highlighted was his ability to catch and immediately get upfield, get north and south immediately, and that allows him to turn an 8-yard gain into a 13-yard gain, which is the difference of extending your drive. And we saw him do exactly that. Now, it went for far more than 13 yards. It was a pretty big pickup, but it did kind of come as a big moment for everyone to see Michael Thomas still be able to do that and have the confidence in his body to do it. This is a guy that's dealing with, that has dealt over the course of the past 3 years with injuries to both of his feet in different capacities. So you can understand maybe if there's a little bit of conservatism to his ability to stick his foot in the ground and get upfield. None of that was there. There was no hesitation, no discomfort at all. He caught that pass, immediately turned upfield, picked up big yards. That's what you want to see from Michael Thomas, and I'm looking forward to continuing to see more of that throughout camp.
Hell yes, dude.
Got one more before we let Ross go. Initial thoughts on Brian Brzee, Ross, because it's a guy that obviously was selected in the first round, a guy that a lot of people thought would be the Saints selection in the first round, even before the draft, started there in May. I know it's a defensive tackle position, but this is somebody the Saints wanted. They get their guy. How did he look in day one?
Yeah, so what I'll say is that he's really violent. I mean, he's incredibly violent. He's really strong. And he's the guy that's got really, really good burst off the line of scrimmage. All that stuff, we knew from his college tape, but it translates out here on the field. And that's a collection of not only yesterday, but also what we've seen from him in mini camps and OTAs. Because I'll be honest, it's a little tough to gauge the defensive line, the offensive line, the first couple of days of camp before these guys get pads on, right? So what you're really looking for throughout these first couple of days of camp is, does anybody look lost? Does anything look glaringly incorrect? None of that was there for Bryan Bresee. And then the next piece that you're looking for is, are they getting, are the defensive linemen getting in position to make plays? And you saw a couple of examples of that. Guys like Jerron Cage, Peyton Turner had a couple of those moments. Tano Passanio was, continuously popping off the field. But I will say that Bryan Bresee found his way in run fits and things like that, which is kind of the biggest hurdle for him coming into the NFL. We know he can rush the passer. We know he could be an interior penetrator. But what can he do as a run defender? So you saw him in good position and taking communication, taking notes, coaching, all of that coming really fluidly for him. So those are all good steps forward. But it's really going to be in a couple of days when the pads come on that we'll really get an opportunity to say, hey, here's who Bryan Bresee is as a New Orleans Saint.
I look forward to hearing more about his interior penetration, and that's the best coverage you're going to get.
I knew as soon as he said it.
Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson NOLA, host of the Locked On Saints podcast. You get your daily dose of in-depth, eloquent Saints news from our guy Ross. We love having him on so much. Ross, what do you got coming up on Locked On? You going to practice again today?
Yeah, I'm literally sitting outside of the training facility right now because the doors for the media room don't open until 8:30. But I'm an early bird, so I always get here way too early. So I'm chilling, waiting to go in. And then, what we're doing right now on Locked On Saints is 2-a-days. So every morning getting you ready for that day's camp, and then every evening answering all your biggest questions from that day's camp. So we're just making sure that we're keeping you up to date every single day, twice a day, anytime that they have practice. So it's not just Monday through Friday anymore. If the Saints are practicing, there's 2 shows. So that's what we're going to be doing over on the channel. There you go. Grinding for the Who Dat Nation. Ross, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Thanks so much as always for having me on.
Bilbo says NFL should just embrace big head mode and put those pads on helmets full time. I did used to love big head mode. Mm-hmm. NFL Blitz.
I've lived my whole life in big head mode.
That is true. You look like I put in the NFL Blitz cheat before the game. I think it was like 222 right, maybe, or 222 up. I can't remember.
Oh, hold on now. You ain't got a peanut over there yourself.
Especially with all his hair. What was your favorite big head mode? For me, it was Blitz. But I know, like, NBA Jam. NBA Jam was big. Big head mode was just base, right? In NBA Jam, they just had big heads. Am I crazy?
No, yeah.
Or no, was it a code?
No, it's a code.
Okay.
Played and ever.
NBA Showtime, it was a code for sure. FIFA had it back in the day. Yeah, Blitz is the best, dude.
In 64?
Yeah.
Version?
Yeah.
I agree.
I would smash y'all in Blitz. We should go to BRcade sometime if you want to get work.
I'm down.
Who'd you play with?
I'd play with a lot of teams, but certainly I loved the Cordell Stewart Steelers. Yeah. I loved Mark Brunell's Jags.
They were good.
Elway's
Broncos. Marinos Dolphins.
Yeah. I mean, I played so much Blitz that I would kind of work my way around the entire league. But yeah, Marinos Dolphins. When I really loved Jamal Anderson, the Falcons, when I was growing up in Atlanta.
I knew.
I used to love.
I need him to say it.
I used to love. I mean, I would only run DeBalm offensively though. I still think it's an unstoppable play, and we would always do both teams with infinite turbo.
Yeah.
So that's a different as well.
I don't know why we would do that, but okay.
T-Bob put in the small hand scope without realizing it was permanent.
Damn it. Ooh boy.
Let's go to break. When we get back, more.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Matt Moscona inviting to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. LSU pitcher Javen Coleman joins us, and Matty Hudak has an update from Saints camp. It's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hola! Bienvenidos. I don't know. I am feeling this Latin flair, though, here, Mario. It's a good call.
Shout out Celia Cruz.
You've made up for whatever that awful beat was at the end of the first
So bad.
hour.
So bad. But this one's better. I like this one.
By the way, there's a rumor, and I would say heavy rumor, as in almost assuredly BS, that FSU's in talks with the Big Ten. And then they would just pay their way out of the ACC.
That didn't really do anything for me.
Okay.
Just because they feel like an SEC team.
Yeah.
If they're going to move.
For sure.
More than a Big Ten. Like USC and UCLA didn't really feel like anything. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, them going to the Big Ten, it's like, well, where else would they go? Like, they don't feel like a Big 12 team or SEC. Or Clemson and Florida State, they can always felt like an SEC team if you were going to add.
But it would make, as the Big Ten looks to geographically, I mean, it does make geographic sense, but as they look to put a countrywide footprint, that'd be a major TV market for them to break into.
Right.
But whatever. Heavy rumor, probably BS. Don't pay any attention to it. I'm just putting it out there.
No, there's no more like rumors that shock me in college football though. So
No, because we've seen it all. Like so much stuff that 2 years ago would have seemed like previous to USC and UCLA making that announcement. So much of this would have seemed like the height of absurdity. There's no way that's true, but since that time, we've seen the creation of NIL. We've seen all the reconferencing, realignment. Like so, everything's changed. Everything's changed. Transfer portal, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna dive a little early into UAPs here. I got 3 clips we're gonna play. This first clip comes from David Grush. I don't know how to say his last name. This is the guy kind of at the center of a lot of this. He is the main whistleblower here. It's a man with 14 years of intelligence. He was an officer. He was an intelligence officer for 14 years in the Air Force, Jake. And he works for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Here was probably the most, remember they were under oath testifying in front of Congress here. Here is probably the clip that got the most run out of yesterday's UAP hearings.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries,
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Okay, so, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super, thank you, and I yield back.
So there you have a man who, again, it's just one man, right? So in and of itself, not that big of a deal, but a man with a legitimate resume, under oath, claiming the existence of non-human biologics that were piloting non-human craft. That is just really too insane to wrap your head around. Here is Ryan Graves, a former Navy pilot. This is the second video here. Speaking of, and he's, again, a Navy fighter pilot, some of the experiences that he had.
How do you know that these were not our aircraft?
Some of the behaviors that we saw in a working area, we would see these objects being at 0.0 Mach, that's 0 airspeed, over certain pieces of the ground. So what that means, just like a river, if you throw a bobber in, it's going to float downstream. These objects were staying completely stationary in Category 4 hurricane winds. These same objects would then accelerate to supersonic speeds, 1.1, 1.2 Mach, and they would do so in very erratic and quick behaviors that I don't have an explanation for.
How do you?
And here is, okay, when you got this one, Jake, anything to say thus far?
Those two human beings feel very passionate and like feel like whatever they're saying is factual.
Ryan Graves did go on to say, quote, if everyone could see the sensor and video data I witnessed, our national conversation would change. I urge us to put aside stigma and address the security and safety issue this topic represents. If UAP are foreign drones, it's an urgent national security problem. If it's something else, it's an issue for science. In either case, unidentified objects are a concern for flight safety. The American people deserve to know what is happening in our skies. It is long overdue. Here is Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. Damn it, I'm trying to remember his exact resume. I believe he works for the Department of Defense. But here's Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick on with some video attached.
This is an example of one that I showed at the hearing recently. This is a spherical orb, metallic, in the Middle East, 2022, by an MQ-9. I will come back to the sensor question that David raised here in a moment. This is a typical example of the thing that we see most of. We see these all over the world, and we see these in making very interesting apparent maneuvers. This one in particular, however, I would point out, demonstrated no enigmatic technical capabilities and was no threat to airborne safety. While we are still looking at it, I don't have any more data other than that. And so being able to come to some conclusion is going to take time until we can get better resolved data on similar objects that we can then do a larger analysis on.
So Kirkpatrick is a laser and materials physicist, and he's currently director at the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which is a part of the U.S. Department of Defense. Yesterday I called the UAP an unidentified aerial phenomena. It's an unidentified anomalous phenomena. So basically something that you cannot explain. Kirkpatrick at the heart of trying to explain these things. And there's like a lot of videos of those little spheres floating.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
It doesn't look that high either.
It moved pretty weird.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Pretty
and you
low.
think about the 2004 Tic Tac video, that the former commander of the Black Aces, one of the most famous fighter pilot groups out there, he had a 5-minute start to yesterday's hearing where he was talking about, have you ever seen the Tic Tac video from 2004?
No.
That one's one of the wildest I've ever seen as well. So, hey. Weird.
All right, so
weird.
Is this something from outside of Earth, or is this something from someone, obviously, that's creating a technology that we have not yet seen here in our country?
Again, I don't know. But that's kind of what Graves was getting at, right?
Right.
He's saying, like, look, man, either way, it's probably of some national public concern. I don't know. I don't know what's more scary. I think it's more scary in human hands, because if it is in alien hands, I mean, you got to be worried because they're far more advanced than us, but then they also haven't really done anything to us thus far.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's in human hands, like, as soon as a country, human history is proven, as soon as a country has a significant technological advantage, they will exploit it to take over other countries. That's just how human beings have always worked. And I don't think we've suddenly changed in this modern era. Maybe.
I'm going to agree with you there.
A little weird though, right?
Seeing the video does make you think a little bit differently because of, again, the way they deliver their message and obviously who they are and the resumes of who they are and what they've done.
Yeah.
And then the way they deliver their message. It's like, okay, like this feels like this human being has seen it and believes it.
Well, so that's the thing. That's what I was telling somebody yesterday. If nothing else, those guys talking believe it, right?
Yeah.
We can doubt them. We can roll our eyes and say it's not true. They believe it. And individuals can be crazy, but there's a surprising amount of, like I said, legitimately resumed individuals that seem to be all saying the same thing.
And that's after years and years of conspiracies. I mean, we all know about Roswell. There's lots of videos of, little Dobby-looking people that look like they might be aliens. Like, this is, people that are in the know saying it, but I feel like people aren't really freaking out about it.
I don't think I've ever seen a video of an alien that I thought was real, though. So I've yet to see that. But I do feel like there's multiple confirmed kind of flying object videos out there. The UAP diving in the ocean with no splash is the weirdest. That's the Tic Tac video.
All right, I'm going to watch the Tic Tac video during the break.
Yep. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. You know, sometimes that 2023 Sienna can feel like a spaceship because it's so incredibly advanced. In fact, maybe that's the alien's endgame, right? Is to learn from minivan technology. How can you create so much efficacy, so much utility in one vehicle? It's next to impossible, except that All-Star did it. Toyota did it, and All-Star sells it. Okay, and you can get them at the best price with the best service department, the best customer service overall, best warranty coverage. It's all there for you off an airline highway. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go to the website and you can design the vehicle the way that you want it. Remember, it's not just adding things to your vehicle. If you want to create something like, I don't need that in my vehicle, you can take things off of, you know, a standard vehicle. It's customizable however you want your vehicle. T wanted the Murdered Out Mini, so that's what T-Bob got, but you can do it however you want it. That's right there on the homepage, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,500 off MSRP on all new 23 Ram 1500 Laramie trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have.
Henniger, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Perlois Jabbar, downtown Baton Rouge. Dwayne Colucci, as well as Matt Humans, and former LSU pitcher Paul Byrd going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We were all down at Margie's bar, telling stories.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
like somebody kicked him. Bubba shot the jukebox last night. Said it played a sad song, it made him cry. Went to his truck and got a 45. Bubba shot the jukebox last night.
What song would make you shoot a jukebox? Got anyone?
Cardi B.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sweet Home Alabama for me. Hate that song. God, Les used to play that every year we played Alabama's like crowd noise.
Yeah. What's the Fireflies song? You know what I'm talking about?
Owl City?
Yeah, I hate that song.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Kind of like that song.
Yeah. When's the last time you listened to it though? Like I was like oh whatever.
It came on the radio and I snapped Taylor not that long ago.
Okay, all right.
I had a dream that they performed that song with Lil Jon.
I don't know.
I
don't know any specific names because I guess I don't can't think of too much music that I would listen to that I hate. But like some of the new country that I've maybe stumbled across in passing is just so.
Oh, I got it. Anything Sam Hunt or Walker Hayes.
Overproduced.
Nah, bro,
and
you
awful.
Sam Hunt ain't bad.
Sam Hunt's terrible.
No, he's not.
Surprised T-Bob didn't
He
say
could throw a
Eminem.
better spiral than you.
Say what?
Eminem. I thought that's where you're gonna go.
Play quarterback at UAB.
I like ripping. I like messing with the Eminem fanboys. I'm not like. I mean, I recognize the talent. It's not for me. I don't casually listen to it. I'm not just filled with rage. But
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Here at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we have in stock 2023 Toyota Tundras, and you can get $1,000 special edition bonus cash. $1,000 bonus cash. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
or online at ln.bank. Equal housing lenders and members of FDIC.
If you've been injured, it doesn't matter if you were hit by a big truck, a smart car, or anything in between. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, July 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 99. Coming up on OTB OT, we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on X, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTB OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Joe LeBon says there's a ton of great new country, but you just have to look for it. Yeah, I just mean some of the more poppy stuff that I've heard just come across in passing is really awful. But I'm sure there is, you know. I don't listen to a ton of music anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's why I always
don't trust me on music.
Pop in like Bill Withers' greatest hits because I know I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. You're not going to shoot the jukebox.
I'm not. Or the record player.
Y'all ready to dive in? I bet you don't have the sound ready. Do you?
I mean,
wow.
Dive into a little big deal or no big deal?
Peyton Turner would never.
Big deal.
Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal or no big deal? Can we get some
YouTube ads. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's coming in 3.
No, for sure. That's
two,
wow. Peyton Turner forced a pass to be thrown into the ground, had to run stuff, and blocked a kick last year. Big deal or no big deal?
No big deal.
Massively big deal.
Not even
no big deal.
One of those things is because it was a win against the Falcons.
Massively big deal. Mm-hmm. Big deal or no big deal?
Peyton Turner owns the Falcons.
Kylian Mbappe, everybody's saying it.
So does Trevor Siemian. So does everybody.
Kylian Mbappe refusing to meet with Saudi club Al Hilal. So after the $1.1 billion offer, of which over $300 million was going to go to PSG, and then after taxes and all expenses, Mbappe was going to get $620 million for 1 year, and then be able to go to Real. Mbappe saying not interested. Al Hilal executives were actually in France signing a Brazilian player yesterday, and Mbappe still wouldn't even go meet with them. Big deal or no big deal?
That's a very big deal.
That's
literally.
crazy.
I mean, that is generational money, to say the least.
Yeah.
And not that Mbappe's hurting by any means.
No, I mean, he'll still make generational money for
but
sure.
Still, I mean, it's.
But he ain't going to make $620 for 1 year.
And the key part of it was that he was going to be allowed to go to Madrid, which that's where he wants to go if the reports are true, after 1 year. Like, they were going to let him go. They just wanted him for like a year.
Massive deal, because I don't know, the amount of human beings on the planet that would turn that down. It's a very small number. In an age where it's very easy to become cynical and be like, okay, you can just buy anything you want. And Bobby kind of saying, not so fast. I'm not some cheap hewer. Okay? You're going to have to work for this. So good on Mbappe. I wouldn't judge him either way. I want to be clear. I'm not sitting here like as one of those people that's like, good standing. Like I would take the deal, right? I've been very upfront about that. So I'm not sitting from a place of judgment, but I do think it's pretty cool that he said, no, you know what? I don't even want to mess with that. Like I don't want to tarnish my legacy. Money's not worth that. I'm good.
Yeah, it's still okay to praise him. I mean, y'all can say I would do the same thing, given that same offer, but it's still okay to praise him. He didn't sell his soul. He's going to still get to do everything he wanted to do and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Big deal or no big deal, let's keep it in the footy world. The United States women's national team 1-1 draw with Netherlands. Now, it was a game in which they went down 1-0. They get level. They score a second goal 5 minutes later in the 67th, but it was called back for offsides, and it's a game that they dominated. They had 18 shots to Netherlands 5, 4 shots on target to Netherlands 1. So the only shot Netherlands had on target was an actual goal for them, and it feels like a missed opportunity for the back-to-back World Cup champions.
Potential big deal here because now you play Portugal, and they're ranked 21st, should beat Portugal, but if you lose, you're going to be out.
Yeah.
Because the Netherlands ain't losing to Vietnam.
Nope.
They're going to handle their business against Vietnam. So you're going to need a tie or a dub. So you're still in the driver's seat. You're a better team. Absolutely. So I'm going to say no big deal, but, there's potential there. This was a shocking stat. It's the first time that the women's national team has trailed in a World Cup game since 2011.
That's
so,
crazy.
At least they met some modicum of adversity and overcame it. It was a beautiful goal by number 10. What's her name?
Horn, right?
Yeah, Horn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, it seems like they're, maybe not as unstoppable as the last few times. Chink in the armor, perhaps. Big next game.
Can't say that.
Can't say that anymore.
Can't say that anymore. Taylor?
No big deal. It was a draw. Whatever.
That guy hates
Wasn't
footy.
a win, wasn't a loss. It was a draw.
You can already
Is
tell.
what it is.
It's a part of a group stage. If this was a stage down the road, then they would go to extra time, then they get penalty kicks.
Taylor doesn't care. Play a real sport. Okay? Tell him, Taylor. I got your back.
You said that, not me. So,
but it's how you feel. True or false?
True.
Okay, exactly. Big deal or no big deal? The Angels are not going to trade Shohei Ohtani.
It's a very big deal. He has 1 year left on his contract, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And so they actually went and got a starting pitcher from the White Sox as well.
Buying.
So, they're buying and not selling. It does feel like a big deal for them. The Angels have wasted 2 generational players.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Hopefully they can do something. Get these guys to the postseason at least.
Now, I don't overly follow the MLB, but from what I've read, Shohei's going to be out after this year, out of LA. Meaning the Angels just turned down the opportunity to get a ton of resources, and they'll likely now just end with a compensatory pick after the season. And like I said, they traded a couple of their best prospects apparently.
Yeah.
For some additional pitching. 7 games out of the division, 4 out of the wild card. We'll see. But the Angels saying, let's make a run at this thing. So I kind of like that. I mean, if I was an Angels fan, I think I'd be happy with that.
Can I repeat Taylor's answer? No big deal. Not a real sport.
Oh, okay. There you go.
From my point of view.
Y'all are
differing opinions on OTB.
No, I mean, I think it's a big deal if you're an Angels fan because, they've clearly proven that they don't care about winning. But, what else are you going
but this is caring about winning right
here.
here.
But, okay, you have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the team multiple years. What do you have to show for it? What else does this franchise have to do?
But that's the saddest part, is that the 4-game deficit represents their best opportunity.
Yeah.
So they have to go for it. I mean, they don't have to. They could have traded Shohei and probably, maybe set themselves up, but they're going for it.
They could have, traded Trout and Shohei over the last couple of years and set themselves up certainly down the road. So it's kind of been a weird model for them.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Are you buying or selling?
It kind of all just feels mismanaged. Yeah. And like they are going to continue to suck and it's all going to blow up in their face. But maybe not. Yeah. Maybe they go on some magical sort of run. Probably not.
No, probably not.
Go ahead.
A big deal or no big deal. Najee Harris, Steelers running back, something we talked about yesterday. Running backs are only devalued when it comes to the pay, not the play.
I agree with that statement. It's no big deal because it is what it is. But no, that's what we've. Well, But I guess in that same vein, Jake, you have pointed out that you can get, like, relative to the play that you get out of a superstar back, you can get close enough to be viable out of a nothing back that's where it kind of does get devalued from the play scenario.
Yeah, I think I interpret this as what we kind of talked about. You still need running backs. Running backs are very important to your success in the NFL. It just doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, like the best aren't bringing enough value over like a run-of-the-mill guy, even though there is a difference. It's just not enough of a difference to justify a hefty portion of the cap. At least that's what the market is saying. Big deal or no big deal, the Lions are the favorite to win the NFC North.
That's
at plus 130.
It's a giant deal.
How about it?
They've been one of the worst franchises.
No, the
in
Lions,
sports.
not the Giants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got confused. My bad.
What a world. Tulane picked to win their conference. The Lions picked to win their division.
Yeah, weird.
2023, baby.
I think it's a big deal because, like you said, they've been so bad for so long. But do y'all think this is correct? I don't. I think the Vikings should be favored to win that division.
The Lions roster is stacked.
It is.
It's a sneaky stack. They return all their weapons. They return their OC,
I
Jared Goff.
I do like the Vikings as well, but I think because of the pass rush that they have on that Lions team, they're going to make it hell on every quarterback in that division.
Also, CD Deuce, no major injury. MRI came back clean. We talked
He
about
feels
that
like a Detroit Lion.
He does. Absolutely. One thing that does suck for Lions, they got to start against the Chiefs on Thursday night. But, I mean, if you win that game, statement.
So a couple of moves that they made. I mean, you draft Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. You sign David Montgomery from the Bears at the running back position. So you draft Sam Laporta to play tight end from Iowa. If there's ever a school that you want to draft a tight end from, it's certainly Iowa.
True.
You start to look at some of the moves that they've made and some of the guys that they've added. You love Jack Campbell. They drafted him from Iowa as well. Feels like the perfect Mike linebacker there for Dan Campbell. The roster's pretty stacked if you're looking at the two deep.
Yeah, the Jahmyr Gibbs signing is interesting as well. That's kind of like they're playing with the theory like we talked about yesterday. If you want an elite guy and you feel pretty good about your roster elsewhere, take one in the first round, lock him up, use him up, and then just be like, all right, we're either going to tag you or you can walk.
Yeah, I would assume David Montgomery's the lead back there and Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy that you become creative with.
Yes, with the eventual Jahmyr Gibbs becoming the guy either down the road this year or later. Dave Montgomery's really good too, though.
Yeah.
Big deal or no big deal. Auburn flips a 5-star linebacker from UGA. Consensus top 50 guy. Didn't write his name down. Just realized. 6'2", 220. But how about it?
That's
Auburn Tigers. He's from Alabama, but Auburn flipping a 5-star UGA recruit.
I'm intrigued by Auburn after catching up with Hugh Freeze at Media Days. I think there's some things that he was selling that I was buying. We know it can win championships.
Yeah.
That's why it was so surprising that Lane didn't go there last year, because Auburn is ahead of places like Ole Miss because they have shown they can not only play for championships, they can win championships. And we know the buy-in. Now it's a crazy toxic culture because of that buy-in, but you'll have everything that you want. If you need it to win, they'll give it to you, certainly. So not this year, I don't think. I don't even think they could have like a BK-type run in year number one where we weren't expecting what they did. I still think that roster's got holes at the quarterback position especially. But 2 years, 3 years down the road, they could be the Auburn that we've always known them to be.
Oh, it is DeMarcus Riddick, linebacker. That's his name.
Oh, good name.
Yeah, good name.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's related to Lewis.
That's a big deal. I mean, Hugh Freeze coming in year one. Kirby's got a machine over there in Georgia. Nobody ever decommits from Kirby, but
also I'm pretty sure the top 2 recruits in this Auburn class are on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So Hugh Freeze, you know he's going to have offense.
Yeah.
But if he proves to be able to put together defense, risky. Auburn they are the Gemstone Church from Righteous Gemstones, and Hugh Freeze represents their Eli Gemstone, played by, why am I blanking? The legend.
John Goodman?
Thank you, John Goodman. Good God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, John Goodman. I love you.
It's Hugh Freeze also, like, he's not calling plays. Phil Montgomery, the old Tulsa head coach, can be calling plays, and he handled that question much better than Jimbo did at Media Days. And he basically said, he's like, look, I can't really do it. He's like, there's times last year where I didn't call 3rd and 5 and in. Like, I had somebody else on my staff do that because of all the things that you have to do. And I didn't think he'd be okay, but he was okay with giving that up and focusing on being the head coach. And so we'll see. I mean, he's a hell of a play designer. So is that going to be something that hinders Auburn? I don't know. Like, does he get back involved? But so far he's said all the right things.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he's got a long way to go to be back to what we thought of him when he was the Ole Miss head coach.
Again, weird that Jimbo just can't swallow his pride and just say it, but whatever. Our guy Luch tried to tell him, and he still just wouldn't do it.
Real nervous energy when Jimbo gave that answer.
To be fair, Jimbo's always had that nervous energy. I remember before the 2013 Natty, he had this bit that was like, pressure. Why do I feel pressure? Pressure bursts paps. And I was like, oh my God, this dude is freaking out. And
he's like a little manic, right?
He's very manic feeling. Yes, absolutely.
Sounded like he was being interrogated for a murder when they were just asking him about Bobby Petrino.
Yeah. I guess that's always kind of been Jimbo's style a bit.
God, this DeMarcus Riddick kid looks ready to play.
Jacques Cormier beat me to it. The Chronicles of Riddick as he decommits from
there you go.
forging. I've heard that's a very good movie.
Never seen it.
Neither have I. There's also a Riddick video game that I know that is like one of the sneaky good licensed games of all time. I think that's it, boys.
Cool.
Anybody else have anything?
I guess we could talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift if we've got a minute.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Apparently, Travis Kelce tried to meet up with Taylor Swift and give her his phone number. Said he tried to speak with her either before or after the concert, but she didn't want to do either because she wants to rest her voice. I guess that makes sense before. Could have met him after. But he was going to give her a bracelet with his phone number on it, but they never got to meet. So big deal, no big deal.
No
Shoot
big
your
deal.
shot, though.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, shoot it.
No big deal because simply as famous as Travis Kelce is, he's just not on the T Swift level.
Yeah.
I mean, but who would be? Music-wise.
I mean, you just need like a true like A-list Hollywood actor is up on that level.
Yeah, because even like I don't know.
Yeah, performance-wise,
Taylor,
nobody.
this is the question.
Like a Messi is up on her level.
The two obviously most profitable concerts, Morgan Wallen and Taylor Swift. Would Morgan Wallen even be?
I would say no.
I don't think Morgan Wallen's on T Swift.
I would say no.
T Swift is.
I mean, Mario, you're shaking your head, but you don't like. Morgan Wallen had like what 9 of the top 10 songs on Billboard.
For sure,
something like that.
He's huge. I just think he's a notch below T Swift.
I do too.
He has to stand the test of time a little bit more. Right? T Swift has gone into the Madonna sort of sphere where like she's been doing this for a hot minute now. I mean, she's having an Eras tour right now, right? Like I don't know anything about T Swift. Like,
yeah, I don't either, but yes.
Like the concert is celebrating like different eras of.
Well, it's celebrating
T-Swift.
all of her different albums.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to be a real dog.
Because I went to it. I know.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. You're our biggest Swiftie.
We got to come up with. I mean,
did you dress as one of the Eras like everybody does?
I did not. I wore a button-down shirt and jeans. I did not get the memo.
If you'd have worn the shirt you wore yesterday, it'd have been the early 2000s era.
Yeah, you could have nailed it. You know who the real dog is? John Mayer. Broke T Swift's heart. Somebody told me that Jennifer Aniston didn't leave her house for a month after Mayer broke up with her. I guess apparently Mayer just makes you feel like you're the one, and then one day he's like, you know what?
It makes you feel like your body's a wonderland.
I'm over it.
Katy Perry mentioned something on like a podcast or whatever. She said like that was like the ex she misses the most or whatever was John Mayer.
Yeah. And look what he went on to do.
No, look,
Dead
props to
Company.
Travis Kelce though.
Legend.
If they would have gotten together, they would have undoubtedly broke up. She would have mentioned Travis Kelce in a song. Like
that's its own badge of honor.
Dude dodged a bullet.
No. They would have very long kids.
Yeah.
You ever seen that Jesus and Miro clip where they're playing like a catchphrase type game where one guy knows what he has to get the other one to guess and he has to give a clue, and all he says is long back, like Taylor Swift. Y'all have a great day. The show's not over. We'll see you on the other side. Munchies coming up next.
Oh, dang it, Bobby.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. Operator, what you put me on through? Gotta send my love down the
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
In high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-126-74. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. LSU pitcher Javen Coleman joins us, and Matty Hudak has an update from Saints camp. It's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1 mile to every inch of your skin like porcelain. 1 pair of candy lips and your bubblegum tongue.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Bro, there are some crazy honest Sean Payton quotes coming out from a sit down with USA Today where he is just ripping Nathaniel Hackett and the Denver Broncos organization from last year. We'll get to that in a bit. Right now, let's go to a man whose body is a certified wonderland. beautiful blue eyes, a more beautiful palate. And, well, if the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, then this man could snag any man. That's Chef Michael Johnson. Chef, what's going on, man?
Good morning. That was quite an introduction there, Bob.
Yeah, how about that? How's everything going, man? What is this? Is this kind of the calm before the storm for you? Like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
has nothing really changed for you?
No, I'm actually in Missouri visiting my parents with my kids, just getting a little bit R&R in before everything gets nuts. Because come Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we are dedicated to the nutrition center for about 1 month solid for 7 days a week. So,
Oof, just so camp is also camp for y'all. You don't leave. You're saying you just like everybody's basically there 24/7.
well, I mean, myself and the sous chefs will be, working through until we get to a point where we feel comfortable with it, which is probably, a week to 10 days. But yeah, we all work 7 days a week, for 25, 27 days.
How early we getting there in the morning? Because obviously, like, breakfast is going to be something that's mandatory for the players.
Yeah, AM team gets there around 3:30 or 4 in the morning, and PM team doesn't leave until about 9:30 or 10. So at some point we have to separate it out so that we're all healthy minded when we come in every day, because it's a toll. I mean, I think my longest stint in a row was 65 days when I worked for the Mariners in a row, and I was like 12 to 18 hour shifts, and I ended up quitting my job not too long after that, because it's just it taxes your body, it taxes your mind, it taxes your family. The great thing about working at LSU is that after training camp is over, we do find balance and work-life balance, and so we all kind of look forward to camp because it's exciting, but it takes some mental preparation for it as well.
Hashtag Munchies. Gulf South says, not a question, but the baseball transfer pitcher from Xavier said his conversation with Chef about player nutrition is one of the reasons why he chose LSU. Props to Chef.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Did you know
Yeah,
that?
he actually came in. He came in. We were actually doing a football recruiting deal, and he came in, and we just had a really good conversation, and I heard about it later. I didn't know about it at the moment, but I speak genuinely about food, and if he picked up on that, then that makes me feel better about our conversation. So
Hell yeah, Chef.
Out there recruiting.
Yeah,
like to hear.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Top align.
Yeah.
You know what? That's called alignment.
That's called alignment.
Boys.
That is definitely alignment.
You got the memo.
Hashtag Munchies. What would Chef prefer to cook for? An endurance athlete, professional cyclist, marathon runner, Olympic swimmer, or a strength athlete, NFL player, MLB player?
Man, I don't have a preference, to be honest with you.
Is it
I
different?
Like people, yeah, it is. It definitely is. I think there's different demographics, and there's different backgrounds entirely. So I like cooking for people who understand that variety is important and appreciate that.
Yep.
It gets a little bit difficult for guys who or ladies who get into a food jag and they just want the same thing every time. People who are more open-minded about what food can be, that's what I really love. I like experimenting with food. I like trying new things. I had a guy reach out to me the other day from the Pacific Northwest. He's got these green chickpeas, and you make green hummus with it. And we used to serve green hummus in Seattle, and it's extremely fresh and vibrant. Ooh. But if you haven't seen it before, it's a little bit overwhelming to look at. So, it's one of those things, it's really healthy for you. It hasn't been processed or cooked or treated the way that canned chickpeas have. So it has a lot more nutritional quality for you. And so I look for the people who are willing to try those kind of things. It's not extraordinary, but it's different, right?
Yeah. And like you've talked about in the past, I know there's base nutritional value to mixing up. Like even if you're eating healthy food, still eating all of the same food, not going to be as effective.
Right.
Thibodeau, hashtag Munchies. What is the best way to prepare red snapper filet?
I am a purist, that. And so there's a couple of things I really like. I always try to keep the snapper on the half shell. I'm sorry, I'm thinking redfish. Snapper, I'll take all the way off and just go salt, pepper, and then it's called a Grenoble Blanc sauce. It's a French sauce, but it's lemon, capers, and you put the butter down. You brown the butter. You cook the fish in the brown butter. Now this is a nutrition center recipe. You'd have to use olive oil or something healthier than butter. But if we're talking about taste, you brown your butter. You put your presentation side of the fish down first and get it nice and brown, and then turn it over. You cook it about a third of the way through with the presentation side down, and then turn it over and let it finish on that side. And once you get the nice brown color on the bottom side of it, you squeeze a little lemon juice over it and let that lemon juice kind of steam the fish a little bit, and then throw your capers on with a little caper juice, chopped parsley and garlic. And, as you pull the fish off, you pull all those remnants of the garlic and the parsley and everything else with it, and cover the fish over top with it. And I mean to tell you, brother, the scent that comes off of it is just incredible.
And red snapper is supposed to be like some of the best eaten, right?
Oh yeah, red snappers, it's meaty, right? It's firm, so it tolerates. Like I like to put it on a griddle, like a flat griddle, and cook it like that, not necessarily on an open flame. I will cook it on open flame, but I prefer fish on a flat griddle. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Has LSU or any other school ever talked to Chef about teaching a class?
Yeah. So I actually am involved with 4-H and teaching kids because they tend to be the more open-minded about cooking. To be honest with you, you'd be surprised how many people, and my brother included, like, will ask me about something, and I'll tell them, and they're like, "No, that doesn't make sense. I'm just going to do it my way." You know what I mean? So, I teach the athletes, so I will have teaching moments with the athletes. LSU has a kitchen on campus that it can facilitate, like 18 people's pretty crowded, 15 and below is really comfortable. Mm-hmm. I've done it with basketball a few times. I've done it with swim and dive. I've done it with a few different sports. And one, it helps me build relationships with the kids. But two, it helps them learn more about the kitchen. And it's this process. Like the dietitian takes them shopping and teaches them what to look for in the grocery store, and then they bring them in the next day, and we go through the cooking. We talk about safety and sanitation real quickly, and then we have this little kind of competitive cooking deal where nice. It's fun. So we do cooking classes, kind of, but not for the general public necessarily. It's my schedule's pretty full to be able to pick something like that up. So
did you used to teach at LCI? Am I crazy?
I did, yeah. So
okay.
I actually, when LCI was over on Essen, I worked there for 3 years, and I actually helped Keith Rush and the team that was there at that time, help them design the building and the kitchen that they currently have today. And I have a really good relationship with them. Charlie is Keith's son-in-law, has taken it over, and we still have a really good relationship. So we try to pick up kids from over there to help cook. Yeah.
Chef, I don't know if you paid attention to any of the UAP stuff from Capitol Hill yesterday. A lot of alien talk. Hashtag Monkeys. If Chef came across a wrecked extraterrestrial craft, how would he cook the pilots?
Gosh, I think I would have to try too, man. You know what I mean? But I feel like a braise would be the safest way to start. Just a little hunk off of a meaty piece of it, and go from there.
So you're kind of feeling it out with your hands first, and you'd be like, okay, this is kind of muscle a little bit right here, like.
I mean, you got to take the skin off, whatever that membrane looks like, and then get to the muscle tissue, and find the kind of marbled meaty parts, and then go from there.
I mean, but then what if you take the skin off and then you missed out because it was would have been like chicken skin,
It's like a grape, huh?
Like delicious fried, or what if like a grape?
Then we go find his friend and
try again.
Yeah, right.
Just fry him,
Yeah.
Like just fry it, and it'll taste good,
grease.
whatever.
They're listening right now.
Chef Michael Johnson. Chef, have you ever tried a century egg? What is that?
I have, and during culinary school. So it's an egg that's been, it's kind of a mixture of pickling and fermenting. So I don't exactly remember what the concoction is that they put it into, but eventually the deal is the egg used to be like 100 years old. They would bury them in these wooden casks and then
100 years,
pick it.
like legitimately 100 years.
Where the century comes from.
No, but I figured it was like one of those play on words, and it wasn't really 100 years. That's crazy.
Well, yeah. So it used to be that way. And I think they've kind of learned a process to speed that up. But when you peel the egg, it's black, and I mean black. And when you get into the albumin, the white part, that is black, but it's almost translucent, like it's a clearish, not opaque the way the white egg is. And then when you get into the yolk, it's not firm and for lack of a better word, chalky. It's actually creamy like butter, and it's soft, and you could spread it.
Okay.
And it tastes, it's wild. and if you can get past the look, it actually tastes pretty damn good. But getting past the look is the key there.
I'm going to go bury a bunch of eggs for my grandchildren. I won't be here to taste it, but maybe they will. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a delicacy in a lot of different cultures, yeah.
My wife tried to tell me that all the Parmesan cheddar that we buy is aged 45 years, and I was like, there's just no way. There's just no way.
Good on her if she does. That's awesome.
No, I mean, I'm sure it'd be awesome, but no. Come to find out, I think it's like 4 months. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Is a century egg, is that the oldest thing you've ever eaten?
Gosh, I think so. I can't think of anything that has been. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Chef Michael Johnson, the legend, enjoying the calm before the storm, where the never-ending grind begins. Always kind enough to make time out of his very busy schedule to join us here on Thursdays at 9:15. He is the absolute best. Everybody loves you, Chef. You have an excellent day, my friend. Good job recruiting, too, by the way.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, nice recruiting job.
Oh, yeah, man. Closing the deal. What if that's the next Paul Skeens?
Oof. I wouldn't hate it.
No, that'd be great.
Do y'all remember taking a recruiting visit to a school other than LSU and the food there stood out?
I remember the Georgia cafeteria being very nice at the time.
I hated recruiting visits.
Yeah, I didn't take any officials. I used I
so
used
much
to go to
attention and like I don't know.
I used to take advantage of my status though because I was an hour away from Athens, and in high school I would just go get free tickets and go on unofficials just to go party. Basically in Athens.
Texas Tech I remember their food being really, really well done. It was authentic Mexican food, and it was really good. Nice. I do remember that.
Guns up. Texas Tech probably going to be first in line in that new Big 12, or at least close to it.
Lubbock was, there's not a lot around it. I mean, it is straight desert.
Sure.
But Lubbock itself was actually, I had a fun night. Now, I've told y'all this. My hosts were Cliff Kingsbury and Wes Welker. So, if you're going to have two hosts, those are the two to have.
Look, after watching Wes at the Derby, he seems like my type of guy. Although I'm sure Lubbock was pretty
is really funny.
I'm sure Lubbock was pretty hot. You need a little AC, maybe a little Accutemp at Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com for your AC heat and electrical needs. You want to go to Accutemp where you get service to the highest degree. They mean that, man. They live that, okay? They walk that walk. They don't just talk that talk. That's why the online reviews are so friggin' high. Go look them up. You're going to be blown away. You're never going to get customer service like this. Ask about things like the Star Club membership. If you're in the market for a whole home generator, they got you. Look, the bottom line is that AccuTemp is there for you. And the real bottom line is it works quality, life's about a shirt, of course. But the customer service, y'all, is unparalleled. I love AccuTemp. You will too. Trust me on this. AccuTemp of Baton Rouge. Okay, we'll get back more to me.
OTB, OT.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. The Payne family has been in this for a while now, y'all.
But they'll be painless.
Yep, painless process. Yeah. Ironic. Because sometimes BMs can be pretty painful, right? For you and your pipes. And if your pipe locks up, well, you already know what to do. You call centralplumbing.org. They come out there. Flat rate pricing, license bond insured, great warranty once the work is done. And so, because I've also been in business, for 5 decades, like if you got an old house, great, new house, great, they know it all. They can fix it all. And it's not just residential, it's commercial as well, centralplumbing.org.
Isn't it ironic?
Oh.
Don't you think?
Is that Atlantis?
Yeah, it is. It is. Centralplumbing.org is that website. 225-925-8552 is the number. Call that number today, not only in emergencies. Centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 9.
Henniger, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Perlois Jabbar, downtown Baton Rouge. Dwayne Colucci, as well as Matt Humans, and former LSU pitcher Paul Byrd going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Sup?
What is this generic ditty?
Oh,
It's not about Jack and Diane either.
turn it out.
It's awful. This was Mario had to do push-ups and go to the restroom for the 7th time in the show.
I bit off more than I could chew, and
I love it. T-Bob has like a cringe
violation.
look on his face. He hates it. He's like, turn it up.
Well,
we want to hear how bad it is.
Yeah,
I'm
trying to decide whether or not it's worse than the end of the hour first beat. It for a second there got a little frisky, but I don't hear it anymore.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. There were some days, 6 to 8 radio, when me and Flynn were just doing whatever we wanted, that bumper music got me here.
What do you mean? Oh, like it's the only thing you look forward to?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all did used to do make a very big deal of choosing it and theming it and everything else.
Oh yeah, we had themes for sure.
Yeah.
Like we would drive Happy crazy.
Mario's themes are Latin America, EDM, and GarageBand.
Yes.
Essentially.
I will say though,
license-free GarageBand.
Yeah, it's awful. We did one 6 to 8 show where, look, I love Mark Broussard. Like he was college. Like all of people my age, we went and saw him at the Varsity and other places.
Huh, I don't
Very
know Mark
talented.
Broussard.
You don't? Okay, well, we'll introduce you. So there was one day.
Williams.
There was one day we played every rejoin song with a Mark Broussard song, and it was really cool because I got a message on Twitter that night. Mark Broussard. I don't know how he found out, but he's like, "Hey, shout out!
Hell
I appreciate
yeah,
you playing the boy there, all day long." So
if Currency gave me a shout out for playing his music or showing him love, that would make me so happy.
I don't know who Currency is.
I don't either.
He's a rapper out of New Orleans.
rapper.
He was in the hot. Well, he
I mean, I know him through y'all. I'm saying.
No, he performed with like Lil Wayne and Birdman and Juvenile and all those guys back in the day. He went a little less mainstream, but he's still huge in New Orleans. Hence the partnership with the Pelicans.
Yeah, the Pelicans video the other day, right? Like, I just don't want to act like I knew who he was before we started hanging.
That was a personal Mario antidote.
Currency will always have my love because during the height of the Who Dat Nation creation, he used to rock the Bobby Hebert jersey on stage. So that's
hell yeah!
Shout out Currency.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Thibodeau
inside the chat. That's the AFR special bump music right there. We get that 2 or 3 times between 3 or 6 a day.
I'm sorry. Hand up. I was a little sloppy this last hour, man. We'll be better going forward.
It's all good, bro. Doesn't matter. It's July 27th.
Yeah, dude. I'm popping these Hall's cough drops just trying to get a sentence out
This
now.
is preseason, This is camp. You ain't getting cut. Our roster's set.
I'm a lock on the roster.
Yeah, you're a vet. Like, you're in it. You're not competing for a spot. Like, we're not going to tell you you're not competing for a spot because we don't want you to get comfortable.
Yeah.
But you're good.
That's
Daniel
fair.
Basham said, I just saw Jake's inner bicep tat. No modesty.
Wait, what?
Do you have an inner bicep tat? Oh, yeah. I always forget. Is that all the names?
Yeah, it's my boys' names.
Is it Yiddish?
It's Hebrew. That's the way the Lord would have said it.
Huh.
That's kind of cool.
I actually don't know the difference between Hebrew and Yiddish.
I don't know what Yiddish is.
No modesty. I just got
Yiddish is
part of
what I feel like Jewish, like true, like hardcore Jewish people speak. Like when you're reading the Torah, I believe you're reading in Yiddish, or Yiddish and Hebrew the same. I feel like I'm probably stepping on a lot of toes.
I'm not even
here.
going to speak on what you're talking about.
I'm way out over my skis. I'm doing a long jump that I've never even trained for. I'm about to come crashing down to earth and break my neck.
We've had like 3 cancelable moments today. We need to do better.
No, that's not true. Wait, what were our other 3?
Calm down, Taylor. I'm joking.
Go to DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download it today. Promo code Baton Rouge, all one word there on the promo code. You bet $5 on this weekend's welterweight title fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, and you get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Okay?
That means right now.
So you bet 5. You sign up, promo code Baton Rouge, $5, $150 in bonus bets instantly. Remember, if you're returning DraftKings, remember you're already a member. Well, look, you can always juice it up. Same fight parlays, whether it's MMA, boxing, same game parlays, whatever, Women's World Cup, whatever. It's all there for you at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Don't miss all the action. Must be 20 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/boxing terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
OTB, OT.
Riverlands Insurance, 225-206-1517, 225-206-1517. Save money on insurance.
Right now.
It's the easiest way to do it, dude. You just call that number, and then Thomas and Megan email. They go shop around for you. and you reap the benefits. Like I said, like they do all the heavy lifting, and you can trust them. That's why I'm giving you a cell phone number. Even, we've talked about it a lot, but when we were meeting back in the day with Thomas, he had to take a break because, somebody randomly called him and wanted to inquire about saving money. So you do it as well. All types of insurance, no matter what your business is, personal business, it's all there for you. Thomas has your back. 225-206-1517.
And you can call that number like T-Bob said right now. You also can call that number anywhere in the state of Louisiana. We always say it. Do not allow the 225 area code to fool you. This is for everyone, no matter where you're at. Thomas can help you today. He can help you right now. Call that number, 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. LSU pitcher Javen Coleman joins us, and Matty Hudak has an update from Saints camp. It's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I never should have felt the groove like I was swimming in a sea of soul. The sun was rising and the day was hot, and we were all about to lose control. My daddy turned his face up towards the sky, and I knew that there was nothing to lose. I felt the crowd breathe in, and I closed my eyes, and it disappeared into the groove.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
So I'm trying to DM Bill Goldberg to get him on the show. I think I'm just going to open with Bill. seems a little too personal. But then again, Mr. Bill sounds weird, and so does Mr. Goldberg.
Yeah, Bill's probably your best bet.
Yeah, you go Goldberg's like his name, but you want to feel like this is different. You're not trying to get.
And I'm not talking to the character.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm talking to the man whose son just went on a visit to Alabama and got offered a preferred walk-on. Come on, Kelly. What are we doing, bro? LSU, we're next.
Do we know if his son, like, how good of a player he is?
No, I haven't looked.
How many stars?
I haven't looked into it at all.
We don't care about that. We just care about getting Bill.
Yeah. Ask the Bench, read by Cole Kurz, Live Visitor, Delzer, and Blue Moon. Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench, I just got here. What'd I miss? Aliens.
A lot of alien talk.
Ask Mara, how many cigars does Michael Jordan have?
1,000, I don't know.
Per day.
Easily probably like 5.
How many did Winston Churchill used to average a day? I wonder.
I don't know. I know Michael Jordan does not approve of his son's relationship with Larsa Pippen. That I do know.
His son is legitimately with Larsa Pippen?
Yeah.
We talked about that.
But I thought it was maybe just like a, like Addison Rae's father going with Young Gravy to the MTV Awards, like a one-off to make somebody jealous. They're like dating?
They're in a relationship even after Larsa said what she did on that talk show that we also talked about.
That's wild. Y'all have a great day.
Drink Coors Light, people.
Yeah.
Responsibly.
OTB, OT.
There's a joke to be made there. I'm going to find it eventually. Go to RejuveMedical.com. That's what Lars is doing. Rejuve. Feel younger. Keep up with her former husband's former teammate's son, right? If you want to keep up with somebody 20 years your junior, Rejuve Medical can help you accomplish those goals, right? Be your best self. Okay, this is fun, guys. It's not so serious. Stop being so serious about it. Right? Go look at the YouTube videos that Rejuve offers. Look at all the services by going to the website, RejuveMedical.com. And understand you get that free consultation. You draw your labs, and they customize a plan for you to get you exactly where you want to be. And now they're opening the 3-1 Great, Rejuve Medical.
That is factual. There's 4 locations now throughout the state of Louisiana. Now, you can find all of those locations and also find things they can help you with, conditions they treat, services they have at RejuveMedical.com, 225-230-3486.
Here at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we have in stock 2023 Toyota Tundras, and you can get $1,000 special edition bonus cash. $1,000 bonus cash. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana.